for everybody. Week's pretty much almost done now, so we're heading to the weekend, so that should make people in a better mood. Been a struggle this week with all we've been doing, so we hope you guys are having a good week, and I'm glad you've decided to spend a little time with us this morning. We're going to talk about everything we've done. You can probably see over my shoulder some of the stuff that's been done. If you've been with us on the live streams, you've watched it grow, so we'll get to that in just a little bit. I did a bunch of car weathering the past couple of days. You'll see those here shortly too. I've got, let's see, 5, 6, 7, did 8 cars the past 3 days, and got them all set to go. You may, if you watched our video last night, the short video we had, the Montana rail link that we had up, you might have caught a glimpse of a couple of them. So, but we'll show them here today. We're actually going to do a bunch of running right off the bat here. Because I want to test out those cars, make sure the trucks are all good, because I I don't know what happened. I kind of stuck all the trucks together, and I was trying to figure out which trucks went with which cars last night, so I think I pretty well have it figured out. So we're going to do that, and I'll show you all the stuff that's coming. Big things are getting ready to, is in addition to the huge skyscrapers that we're working on currently. Gabe today, while he's monitoring the chat, is in the midst of working on the final files for the Alexandria Hotel. I know we said we were going to do the Gemini next, but we printed one. We printed one of the panels off, and that one panel chewed up a ton of the filament. So I started doing a little math on that, trying to figure out what the Gemini was going to take. And because there's basically 16 sections per tower, not counting the roof, and that was just one of the 16. So I think we're putting that one on hold. The amount of filament to do the Gemini right now, we could build 1.5 of the big skyscrapers. So we're going to put the filament and the printer time into doing that, plus the new bridge that we're getting ready to work on, which I'll talk about here in a little bit.
Great Northern says good morning.
Good morning.
And Franklin Park says hi.
Hi, Franklin Park and Great Northern. Glad you've joined us. We're just talking about everything that we've done. They got done since Thursday's, not Thursday's, but Tuesday's live stream. Got a bunch of cars weathered and done. Got the tower finished for the most part, but we'll go over all that here in just a few minutes. Talk about what's next for the layout, which we're starting over the weekend, in addition to the new tower build that's going right here. So we've got a lot going, and we're going to test out. I don't know if you guys, like I said, I don't know if you watched the Montana Rail Link video we had last night, but we had a couple of trains racing each other, testing out some new cars. You may have seen some of the new cars that we had. We're going to do a bunch of testing with that today, show you some of the new cars that I uncovered in a box. What we're going to do back here, a lot of stuff going on back here this week coming up. So just a lot going on. So let's, I'll get the kit.
What does it cost in supplies to produce one of the big skyscrapers?
Who is that asked?
Great Northern.
Oh, Great Northern. Okay. Asked, what does it cost in supplies to produce one of the big skyscrapers? Not counting the wear and tear on the 3D printer, because we have after every so many hours, you've got to grease and lube everything and get it all done again, and that's we'd only use what they recommend with theirs, so that can be kind of expensive, and it's after, I don't know, like 30-40 hours. Well, you can do that within like a half of a build of one tower, so you've got maintenance on that. But as far as the materials itself goes, probably a tower is about $20, something like that. Maybe a little more. These have been shooting a little bit higher than a single roll of filament because of so much that's been going on with each one. And this new one, the Alexandria, it's going to be our tallest tower. It's going to be taller than even the one we got going on right here. So it's going to take a little bit more. That one will probably take us 6 days to do. So that's probably going to be about 60 hours, 70 hours of print time. So we're probably looking, 2 servicings on the machine at that point. So it's kind of hard to put an actual cost on it, because just the actual, and then you got to go into lights and everything else when you get to that stage. I think each tower will probably, by the time we're done with adding the lights, the window glazings, interiors, all of that, each tower will probably be about $100, somewhere right around there. If I had to guess that, depending upon how crazy we get with the lights, because we're going to put the blinking aircraft lights on top of everything, and then of course interiors on some of the rooms, and down at the street level. Street level on every building will be completely done. If there's like lobbies and things like that, or if there's stores, that'll all be completely done. So it's really kind of hard. But as far as the base materials go, with lights and things like that, probably around 100, right around there. So let's get to talking about what's coming, because like I said, a lot of things have we've accelerated our timeline on getting the rest of. Now that I've got these 3 tracks, knock on wood, pretty well done, operating smoothly. I'm ready to tackle the next 3 tracks, the 2 elevateds and the single. So we.
Says 7 Idea Productions has a great series on the end of the Montana Rail Link. Amazing footage of the trains worth checking out.
Somebody said there's a great video on Montana Rail Link. I've watched a bunch. I've loved them ever since they've been around, basically. So love the colors of the engines, love everything about it. Just the country, the whole works. Very scenic. So yeah, there's some really good out there if you want to check out some history about it. All right, so let's get the camera, and we will. I'll show you everything we've got going on, and what we're going to do. Like I said, as soon as I show you everything here, we're going to start running the trains and checking to see how it goes, especially the new ones. Because what I've been doing is I hate these little pins that are in these cars that hold trucks in. I think it's the stupidest thing ever. So I've got this stuff. I use it on a lot of things called Fabri-Tac. It glues anything to anything, but it doesn't create a super strong bond ever. It's still got some flexibility to it. It's because you're supposed to be able to glue things to fabric with it. So it's got to have a little movement and play to it. So I've used a little drop of that into every one of where the trucks go in to the cars. So I did that last night. I don't know if I tried to wipe off any of the excess glue so none of the trucks would actually stick to the pivot points. So we'll see how it goes. I may have something I have to work with here now that it's kind of dried up overnight and gotten a little tackier. But I think I got it pretty well cleaned up. But I'll show you all that.
Franklin asks, "What's your favorite building?"
What's my favorite? I'm assuming of the ones that I built. So if it's of the ones that I built or we've built, Gabe's doing all the design work and handles the printing, and I just do the assembly. Probably the ones we've built, as far as style goes, I think I'm still partial to the Artemis. I really like the top of that one. The other 2 are massively impressive, but there's just something about the styling of this one, from the lower sections to that really cool top, that I'm still really partial to. I'm wishing now that we made it a little bit taller, maybe one more section up, to where it would be, just maybe up to about right here in height. But it's, I don't know, it may wind up being a twin tower later and have 2 of them in a courtyard between them. And we may do that and have one a little bit taller than the other, because I really do love the style of that building. But
Franklin says we can't see it.
Oh, okay, I'll get it for you can see it here in just a second.
And Victoria sent a 100 for 2 jewels.
Oh, well, thank you, Victoria, for the jewels. I'll show you the front of the Artemis here in just a second. And like I said, maybe think about having 2 side by side. But the new one that we're working on right now, the Alexandria, there's some really cool stylings with it too. In addition to the fact that we're putting that round top on it to make it look like a lighthouse, but even though it's just an architectural detail, to kind of look similar to the one downtown in LA, but not quite. We've got some really interesting things there that's going on with the architecture on that. So that may wind up being my favorite after we get it done. We're going to have the base printed probably today, so we're going to get a good idea. So when we do our live stream on Sunday, I'll have it sitting right here, and you'll be able to see where it's going to go up, and we'll be able to get a good idea of what it's going to look like off that. All right, so let's do this again. Thank you for the jewels on that. Okay, so since you couldn't see it before, there's the Artemis. Like I said, that's just the architecture on that is just. I really love the top of that building. So, and we had to do a lot of. This is the second time we had to do the top. The first time all these windows were not open, but he was able to get that taken care of. Now, if anything comes up, you guys, just let us know. If anything gets fuzzy and stuff, we'll check. Everything should be clear today. Oh, well, thank you, Victoria.
No, Victoria's the one who sent that.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. And who is it? Oh, Victorious. Okay.
Says not as tall as I thought.
No, somebody said not as tall as he thought. This one right here is about 30 inches in height. This guy right here, he's standing about 38 inches in height, and this guy right here is well over 4 foot in height. So it's just kind of a staggered height on all of them. So as you can see, this is the first thing that I did yesterday is I completed. We didn't have this section done yet. So that is done and everything's in place. I got all my bracing in. All that's left is this. These are these trim pieces that go in the corners that they come in a little ways and they go all the way up. So you have them here, here, and there on every corner all the way around. That's not that big a deal to put on. I'm not going to worry about that. I'll do that another time. So so this is what I finished. I think it was yesterday. I did this yesterday or the day before. I don't remember which. But I did this while working on the weathering. So now I'll get a little shot over here so you can get an idea of.
Please ask if you bought the air rights.
Bought the air rights. Somebody asked if I bought the air rights. Yeah, they have to do that now. I think that's amazing. I saw that for the first time out of a story out of New York, how you have to buy the rights above the building so you can go up with it. The people figure out how to make money on everything, I guess. So, I bought the air rights when I bought the house. So we have the air rights to all of it. So that was a pretty good comment. Oh, well, thank you, Victoria, for subscribing. Yeah, we're trying to get some good content every time and show new stuff every time. And that's why when I show you what we're getting ready to update here, you're going to see a lot of things changing in the next week or two on all of our live streams on this. So we're going to be really rolling with things. Speaking of which, I need to grab one of these so I can show you something here in just a little bit. Let me get this out of the way. Okay, so the Victoria will go right here. No, sorry about that. Boy, I get my brain just locks up. The Alexandria is going to go right here, and it should be, well, it'll be about an inch or two taller than the Leviathan. So it's going to be almost to the ceiling level. Big building. It's probably like this much wider right here than this one, than the width of this one right now. And it may come down a little bit if I wind up doing the double towers right here. Because this one didn't take that long to actually print. That was maybe a 4 or 5 day print, 3 or 4 day print. So we may go ahead and wind up doing a second one of those towers. That actually might look really good because this is supposed to be the hotel complex for our station that we're doing right here. This is the platform for the station with our passenger platforms down below with an elevator and stairs that come up to it. So it might be kind of nice to have just like a whole complex right here.
Good, I don't want you to get sued by a New York lawyer.
That says it's good. I don't want to get sued by a New York lawyer. No, I wouldn't want that. So anyway, all right. So the other thing that this was the Gemini building that we're just putting on hold right now because, like I said, that was tough. When I saw how much that was going to chew up in filament, it was like, ooh, no, thank you. Not right now, because this was going to take probably at least, just to do the 2 towers right here, at least 3 rolls of filament to do that, and probably 2 weeks of print time. So, oh, hello. Oh, well, thank you, Victorious. Thank you very much. That's great. We do appreciate it. Let me tell you real quick. Anything that you do send, either super chats, gifts, whatever, it all goes right back into this. We don't keep any of it. It just goes straight into this so we can keep bringing you more content. A lot of the woodwork over here was built out of the first couple of live streams we did and all the super chats we got and things. So it just goes straight into this. Okay, so yeah, but anyway, on this is going to chew up probably 3 weeks to build, 2 to 3 weeks to build. I can build 2 monsters. Well, we can build 2 monsters that are going to go up, and maybe even this in the same amount of time as that for just a little more than the same amount of filament. So that's where. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what we did weathering wise. So I need to pull all of this off. I'll start over here.
Not so average says how things
Who is this? Not so average, doing good. I hope you're doing good. Been doing good. Just been starting to do little things, but we're about to do a massive, massive amount of building over the next couple of weeks. Okay, so I showed you guys one of these before. That you can see all the weathering on the top and stuff, and down here on the sides. I don't have really good light here. I'm trying to think if I can catch some light here on this to show it. You'll see it as it's going around, but you can see all the weathering on top. So I got these 5 cars right here done, and they're all different numbers, which is nice. I was able to find those that way. And this little guy right here. Then I finished up this container car right here, and this one right here. The same thing, got all the weathering done, all that finished up. So I haven't really tested. Yeah. What'd you say? Oh, we're going to. Yeah, we're going to start testing. We're going to start running all of this right here in just a second. So I haven't tested this train yet since I added these 2 new cars on it. So we're going to do that. And this one only got a brief test yesterday. And like I said, I don't know how the trucks are faring now at this point. So we're going to set the camera up over here, and I'm just going to get things set up, and we'll start rolling with stuff. So I'll put it right here so you can see the buildings and everything with how this is going to kind of look coming underneath the station. I'll get this set up right here. Okay, so let's get the trains going. All right, let's see. Get these on and that on, and make sure I have everything set. Wait, nothing on the tracks. Oops, that's on the tracks. No, gotta get that off of there. Okay, I'm glad I checked.
Also, average asks, do you operate analog or digital?
Right now, this is just DC. We will be going to DCC after we get everything completely operational and tested. Did I lose my, what is going on here? Oh, this helps it. How do we come up with what?
The concept of the project.
Concept of the project. How did we come up with that? Well, let me get this going and I'll get them running and then we'll.
Projects plural.
Okay. The overall project, I always knew I wanted to do a city. Ever since seeing the City's Edge layout, I always thought it'd be cool to do a city layout. So that's what was, it's been in the back of my mind for quite some time. So that was the initial ideas behind it all. But then had to kind of put it on the back burner for a long time because it's like, I started pricing these big buildings online. There's a couple of manufacturers of them that get you to the 3 and 4 foot high type. But they were running, if you bought all the extensions and did everything, it was running like $1,000 a building. So I knew there was no way if I wanted to do a true city with like 20 to 30 skyscrapers, I'd have $20,000 to $30,000 in just skyscrapers alone. There's just no way I could do that. So I figured I'm going to wait and see if something comes out cheaper later, which it was, the 3D printer. And then we had to wait for the 3D printers to come down in price. And once they came down in price, we were able to start doing this. Then I was able to start visualizing what I wanted. I always knew I wanted to have an elevated track. I love that. Knew I wanted these monster buildings. So we actually started this about 5 months ago. This whole layout got started about 5 months ago. And we didn't really know, I didn't really know how I wanted to arrange things. So I knew I was going to want it at this level because we have the second level down below here. This is where the business end is going to be. This is where all the industry is going to be. Some mountain running, things like that. I knew what I wanted up here, but I didn't know how the track was going to play out in all this, where I was going to be able to put the track. So we started building the buildings, started printing them, started putting them in place, started thinking about it. We printed the elevated track was one of the first things we did, just to see if we could get it looking good, and we did. So once we got to that stage, then we started thinking about the track itself. This has gone through like, this little area right here has gone through like 3-4 different arrangements prior to getting to this right now. First was just going to be 2 main lines. And then there was going to be a main line with a single spur siding, and then maybe 2 sidings. And then I was going to make yards out of this area. And now what this is this is 3 main lines that act as staging for the entire rest of the layout.
So this is where we'll bring all the trains together, get them all put together here over the staging area right here, let them start working, and then they'll spin out and go into the helix and either go up to this level, these levels here, or go down to the lower level. So I think by waiting on doing the track and just starting to play with what I wanted to do here with the overall look of the city, we were able to do a lot with the design part of it. And work out a lot of bugs ahead of time. All right, you're gonna have to come in here if you're gonna do it. Because with two trains running around, I'm not gonna hear a thing you're saying. I've got this little, I gotta glue this onto here, that container keeps vibrating a little bit.
Yeah. Not So Average says, nice. I've always used DC because I've not got a clue how to fit DCC to things.
I understand that. DCC is quite a learning curve. I've played with DCC in the past on a few little like staging things and how to program and all that. So I'm fairly confident when we get ready to do it. There will be problems, but I'll work through them.
Let's see. Troy says, hi. Awesome.
Hey, Troy, glad you've joined us. We're just talking about what's coming for the layout.
General says, this is awesome.
Thank you. I'll try to get that guy out there since he's going to vibrate off anyway.
Let's see. Raleigh says, so how much do you estimate a 3D printed skyscraper cost by comparison, including electric?
So we kind of just went over that, but I'll in comparison to, I'm assuming in comparison to like either scratch building it or buying it from somebody that has a tall one. So, because I didn't really go over that part before about the price that I had gotten quoted before. To build this guy right here, if I went through some of the manufacturers that are online where you can customize their buildings a little bit, this guy here alone, the $1,000 was for, that I found from other people for buildings between this size and this size. So this guy right here would probably run me about $1,200, $1,400 to have somebody else make all the components for us. Well, the printer cost us $300. Okay, so if you do the math on that, I could have bought 4 printers for the price of this one tower. And it cost me right now, I've got about $20 in it in filament. Of course, got all the lighting and everything else to go. So like I said, it's probably pushing to about 100. Is that stupid car again? I'm just taking him off.
Jason says hello.
Hello, Jason.
Good morning.
I had a feeling this is one of these trucks that has that glue on it. I'll work on that and get that freed up a little later. There we go. So price for me, lights in, everything's going to be about $100 a tower. So even thinking about that versus let's say $1,200, that means I can build 12 of these in the space of just buying the materials to build one through one of the online manufacturers. So if you can afford to get the printer, I recommend it because you're going to save yourself thousands and thousands of dollars. This entire city will be completely 3D printed. I doubt we'll have hardly any anything on here that isn't 3D printed. So it's just a good deal in the long run. So anyway, back to talking about the layout just a little bit. So once we figured out, we were going to do HO down below. I was just going to have 2 separate layouts, having the in scale and the HO. So then I thought, well, I could either HO with a jump across here. I could probably do like 3 industries and a small loop. And leaving this as in scale means I would be limited to just these levels. And if I was wanting city, I was not sure where I was going to put industry for actual industry for the railroad. So it just didn't seem like the HO, and plus I'd have to buy twice as much stuff because you'd have to have HO engines in cars, in-scale engines in cars. Now I can just focus on one scale, one gauge, and I've already got the plans figured out for the lower level. It's going to be really neat. Like I said, we're going to have a mountain over here with some canyons and bridges and some industry back here, industry all along this wall down below, and then a reversing loop for the dog bone right here that gets back to the helix over here. And that will allow us to run pretty good smooth operations. And the station down here, I'm going to do it in such a way, there's a lot of stations that I really like.
So I'm gonna make it to where I can change the station out. I'll have a big platform that's like a universal platform, and then I can just change the big station out. I like there's the Denver station, the San Diego station, the Cincinnati station, uh, the one downtown in Chicago. So there's a number of stations I'd like to do. There's the St. Louis one is beautiful. So I'd like to be able to put all of those down here and just change them out. And we'll have the camera down here where you'll be able to watch operations down below. Eventually what we're going to do is have a multi-camera operation going on with split screen, so that you'll have a camera up here watching what's going on here, and then a camera down below watching what's going on down there. So that's what we're going to do. So I think we're going in the right direction. It's just taking a little bit to figure it all out.
Wally says a no-brainer, then basically very nice to go.
Trey was going right by you. I'll have to talk louder.
Raleigh says a no-brainer, then basically very nice to go.
Yes, yeah, the printer. Yeah, it's a no-brainer on buying the printer. I estimate that by the time we're done building the city, that we will probably have saved, if we were to have bought all of those things from online sources, the other builders, we would probably have spent between $50,000 and $70,000 to build this city. And that's not counting the people. That's just the buildings. You know what the cost of little in-scale people are these days. I mean, any of the people, HO or N, I mean, it's coming out to be in between 50 cents to $1 a figure, depending on what you get. So we're going to get a resin printer this summer, and we're going to start knocking the figures out. I need about 25 to 30,000 figures for a city this large, for the streets, for everywhere. So even if you figure the cheaper cost of, let's say, the 50 cents a figure, that'd be $15,000 to $20,000. If you go the dollar a figure, you're looking at double that. So so then you add that on to the other. So just for this level up here, to get what I want, if I was to pay for everything retail wise or through other builders, it'd be almost $100,000. As it sits, when we get done, we will probably be in it for less than 2,000, maybe 1,500 for everything. But that'll be both levels included, not just the upper. That'll be all the station stuff down here. That'll be the mountain areas. That's all track, the helix, the whole works. The entire city finished. So we're talking almost 100th of the price of what it would cost. Because, like, for example, right now, everything that you see right here that we have, the buildings, all the bench work, everything, all the track. I've still got a lot of track sitting in a box. All the track, everything, wiring, what we have in these buildings so far, in addition to what we already have in other boxes and stuff. I'm into it for about $450 to $475. So that's why I'm guessing no more than $1,500 for everything, because I'm well over. I mean, just the benchwork part alone and the track, I'm well over a third of the cost that I need of everything, and the buildings won't be anything. We may buy another printer because we're running into the problem now that we are running out of hours in the day to get everything printed that we need to get printed. So we should be doing that hopefully within the next month or two. We'll just see how it goes. We're going to be going to that train show in March. I'm going to take a bunch of my 3D stuff and try to get it sold. That's down in Rockford, Illinois. And if we get all that sold, we'll buy maybe one, possibly two more printers. Just so this can move along at a better clip. That's the only thing that's going to take. That's the only thing that's going to hold us up on time is just the time it takes to print stuff.
Jeff says hi.
Hi, Jeff.
And what type of camera do you use?
We just have a camera on our phone right now. When we start doing the split screen and doing multi-angles and everything, we'll get a camera set of we started to do some general research on it. We haven't really looked at anything just yet, but when we get 2 or 3 cameras and spots, it'll go to dedicated cameras. All right, let's see here. I'm going to slow down. We'll leave the middle one going. I'll let this guy come around and I'll stop him and we'll get the spirit going. So we've got 2 going in opposite directions. And then while stuff's running, I'll get the camera again and I'll show you what we're getting ready to build right over along this whole area right here that's going to start next week. Let me change out the leads. I'll get all of this sorted too eventually. These are two other of the cars that I just finished last night. The back two container cars are two that I want to get some testing in on too, some runtime. These guys right here. I just finished those about 9 o'clock last night. The worst area that anybody's been with us on our live stream knows has been this corner over here. I've been having a terrible time with this corner. Things have not been operating smoothly through there. I'm pretty sure I've gotten most of the problem fixed now. But I don't know if I start hitting these longer cars on it and seeing how it goes. Looks like the trucks are pretty smooth from that glue I was talking about. I'll let that run for a little bit here. If you went with us before, there's that Homer Simpson. We did a live stream showing me painting that. That's actually based on a real car. Graffiti was done that way on a big auto rack like that. So if you want to see that, you can go back through our live streams and watch the actual build or actual paint job that we did on that. I'm getting ready to, probably over half the cars, at least half the cars, about 2/3 will have graffiti on them. Container cars will have it down in the lower areas, not on the containers. These new cars that we just did over here that I just finished with the weathering, at least half of those will get graffiti. So while I'm waiting for things to print and things to dry, while we're working on stuff, I'll start working on the graffiti here. So that you'll start to see that over the next couple of weeks as it starts to filter in. And then I'll put my final coats, my final finishing coats on everything. And that should pretty much takes care of it. Those cars seem to be doing pretty good. I did get them weighted with the containers. It'll be okay. And this will be covered with a platform. I've got my beams that go in here. I'm going to get everything reinforced. There'll be some more legs on the back, more beams, and then there'll be more beams right here. This will all get covered with styrene, and we're going to make, like I said, a park area out of this because we put that big Ferris wheel in right here. There's a lot of the big cities have got something like that downtown, so we're putting that right here. That should all be coming in the next month. And this will all be underlit so that when we're filming, we can have the camera set up about right here and you can watch the passenger trains come in and stop underneath the station. And then that way, with all the lights on for night run, plus it's just going to be really dark under there just with the covering of it as it is. So.
So say, ladies, does not just the cost of printer and PLA, at the time in
I have not got a single clue as to what you're saying.
Okay. So say, lady,
Uh-huh.
says not just the cost of the printer and PLA, but the time in filing, gluing.
Oh, yeah, there is the labor, yeah, the labor. So you said that not just the cost of the PLA materials, but there's also the labor, the time doing everything. And there is, because each building takes about maybe 10, 12 hours to completely sand, put together, and do prior to painting. I've probably got a couple hours in each one of these so far, maybe about 4 hours in each between sanding and building at this stage. And I'm not counting the lighting, not doing the lighting, but just finishing the point of being able to paint, probably another 2-3 hours. So about 7 hours each, 7-8 hours each. And then all the finish work. I don't even know how long it's going to take to do all the window glazings and all of the shades and everything I'm going to have to do on the, it's probably, each building will probably take about a month to finish, which is fine. I'll have everything else completely done and I'll just take one building off at a time as I'm doing it, and I'll do all the window glazings, all the interior details and bottom details and everything, and then put it back in the layout. So that'll be an ongoing process, but to actually get everything to a completely runnable stage and a lot of the basic stuff in, we should be done with this whole layout within about 8 months. 6 to 8 months, something like that. At the rate we're going. I mean, we've only been into this for about 4 to 5 months already. And we've only been starting to doing testing down here, reliable testing, for about 3 weeks now. So we've come a long ways in a very short period of time now that we've gotten to this point. Everything looks like it's doing really nicely. Tracking well. Gonna have to probably clean the track within about a week or so. I'm changing everything to metal wheels. Change it all out so I don't have to clean as much. And I'm gonna get that little thing that you clean the bottom of that you get a cradle, put the engine upside down, and you use that red thing with the bristles. You plug that into the power and it actually powers the engine and cleans the wheels all at the same time. I've used those before and they're fantastic. So I'll get that to keep these wheels of these engines all nice and bright and shiny. All right, so I'm going to set up over here what I'm talking about, what I have been talking about as far as the big bridge build that we're getting ready to do. That will allow us to, well, I should talk about that a little bit. Okay, so I didn't really know how much room all these buildings were going to take and how much room I was going to have for the track on the pink level up. So I started looking at things the past couple of days, and back here, that's where the issues are going to be. Over here, there's not a problem. This bench work over here is much deeper, a lot narrower here and here. So these are going to be the issues. So it actually kind of works out. What we're going to be doing is behind this row of buildings and then against the wall's going to have the background buildings like we showed over here. They're not going to stick out very far, but they're going to be really tall. So basically, this is going to be the area behind the two buildings, the backs of each of the buildings. So almost like an alleyway type of a thing. So that's where we're going to have the elevated track cut through between the two rows of buildings. And we'll have a little area there also for the main line that we'll have on the actual foam itself. It'll all be back behind there between the two rows of buildings. Over here, I'll be able to make a road. Probably do the same thing here. I'm probably going to have a road for cars underneath the elevated going the whole way. I can almost fit 4 cars. I think I can actually fit 4 cars between the pillars, the posts for the elevating. So I'll probably be able to do a 4-lane road all the way around back behind here, and then we'll have our crossing roads that go back between. So that's kind of how the overall look of the city would be. But given the fact that this is not that deep, I was hoping to push the track, the pink level track, further back against the wall, but it's just not going to happen. It's going to be really close to the elevated track back behind it. It's going to be tight, but it's going to look really good, especially if we set the camera up like at one of the crossings and we shoot between the big, tall skyscrapers. You'll have your elevated tracks coming by you. You'll have your street level track coming by you. So we have some really cool stuff back behind there. So anyway, those 2 levels, the pink level track, street level track, and the elevated track all have to get across this jump area right here. So I'll show you how we're going to do that. Let me get the camera and I'll show you here. Okay, I'm going to set something up real fast. All right, so coming across this big area right here, I need to be able to get to this level and the elevated level across here to complete our loops. These will all be able to go from one level to the next with the helix, because the helix will come up to service all those levels. So what I'm going to do is we're going to be building an elevated section right here like this that's going to span this entire thing. So you'll have, supports coming along like this, and we're going to use I-beams that the tracks will sit on. So what it will do is we will get all our measurements correct, and we'll have a double like this coming across. And we'll have track on both here and in the middle here where my thumb is. 2 main lines, well probably 2 main lines on each. coming across. So if you can imagine, so this up on top here, this right here then will come over here and switch over to I-beam running across this area right here. And so we'll have these things staggered, however many along here. Whoops. Along here, I'm going to have to build out a little bit because it has to be wide enough to be able to handle 2 tracks on top. Oh, I think I derailed it. So hang on a sec. Yep, I did.
Crochet lady says move slowly because I get busy.
Move slowly. There we go. Get my fingers out of the way real quick. There we are. Make sure the back wheels are still on. Yep, there we go. Okay, so you get a couple more of these. So these are all stuff that we print on the printer. We're going to have to adjust heights on these a little bit. They're made for this, which is fine because there's no real track running underneath it, but we're going to have track. And I like to have a 2-inch clearance so that the taller, this is a 2-inch clearance right here, so that we have a taller, this right here will clear either an auto rack or a container by about 1/4 inch. And this is 2 inches. So we just need to have that kind of a clearance over here. So I'm going to have to, these will have to be a little bit bigger, which means we'll have to make these approaches coming to them. We'll have to bring them up a little bit in height to match what we need to have coming across. Because what will happen is we get over here, and it's not just these 2 tracks right here that we have running. So you're going to have, you know, the track here, the two levels of track right here coming across. But then what it also has to be able to do is when we start all of our switching, we start putting all of our switches in here to cross everything over to get to the helix. At some point, the track that goes to helix is going to have to come under this. So we've got to make sure we've got clearances for everything. So this definitely has to have a clearance of the 2 inches. Right now, I believe it's off by 1/8 of an inch. And that could be the difference. So we're going to have to make sure that we get it and we get it done right. So this is going to be a big build right here. So I'm going to have to get a piece of wood and I'm going to have to attach it here and go that way with it just so I can have room for these, for the leg to stick out and have a room there for anything that's wide that comes around curves and stuff for clearances. So it looks like I need to add on about 1 inch. So I'll probably put on about a 2-inch piece right there just so I'm not right on the edge. So then these all just come across, all stacked up, coming across with one on top of the other. And that will be our big bridge area that we will have, that will be spanning this whole section right here from one side to the other so that we can connect up the street level track and the elevated over to the other side over there. So I hope that makes sense. So that's what we have coming on that. That we will start when we have, we start getting most of the pieces printed for the Alexandria building that he's working on right now. Once we get that done, most of it printed, by the end of this next week, we'll really start going in and we'll have all the design figured out, measurements figured out, heights and everything that we need to have, and we'll start printing off all those girders to start building that bridge across there. So that'll be the first thing. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for all that stuff to come together, I can get that piece of 2-inch across there so that when we get it all printed, I can just start gluing it together and setting it in place and starting to figure all of that out. So that should be a good way to go about that. So this is going to come quick. So while I'm finishing that, while I'm building that bridge, then I'm going to decide where the elevator is going to go. I think I can reuse this piece over here. I thought it was just going to be a junk piece. This is a piece, that back blue piece, I'll pull it out here and show you in a sec, was supposed to get us all the way to the back because originally there was supposed to be, there's no city here from this point out. It was only going to be city here. And this was where all the industry was going to be started. But then when I took over down below to have the industry, it didn't make any sense to have that up here anymore. So the elevator is going, like I said, is going to cut right back behind here and just make an alley area behind the big row of buildings. So I do think I can reuse this guy. Try not to knock anything over on the trains. Okay. So I think if I cut this like right here, or right here somewhere, and add it on, that should get me to the back side of these buildings. I do it about right there. All I have to do is do a little curve on that, and that's good. So I can actually save some of this coming back here. That'll be good. Because where I've got to do two of these tracks just like this, I would hate to have lost all of this. If you want to see some of the details on this, I made this with styrene. This was all done, which is plain old styrene. The ribbing was 3D printed. The handrails were 3D printed. The braces were 3D printed. And then this is just styrene on top right here. So that I did, it was just cheaper to do it this way with styrene versus printing and printing and printing all these little sides like this. This way it was just the small stuff that had to be printed. And I left this like this so I could run my lights, because where this is actually going to be over roads, I wanted to be able to put lights in here with the wires all tucked up in so it could shine down, have actual light fixtures underneath on the beams, the cross beams that go on here like this, to light up everything on the road down below for the nighttime running. So I just use that as access points. So that'll be, that's good. We'll be able to, I'll be able to reuse that. Set that down there and just kind of get it out of the way, because we're getting ready to move a bunch of stuff. I want to do this now before I get too many big buildings and I have to keep moving things off and getting things out of the way while I'm putting track down and working on the elevator. So we'll get the Alexandria out of the way and one more, probably the Babylon, out of the way. And then we will go full into creating the other three main lines. And then once we've done that, then I'll start working on the helix. But in the meantime, we'll just keep printing all of this and going. So I think that'll be a good way to do it. All right, so I think I'm going to pull the Spirit in. I'm going to start get some more testing done on these box cars over here. It's always fun watching them pass each other anyway. I'm definitely going to get a plug and play system with this for now, for just doing the testing until I get the actual wiring done. It'll make things much easier. Plus I got to run my power lead over there that side. There we go. So I did find, when I was going through some boxes looking for other things, I did find a bunch of these old, I think they're Atlas cars. They've got a nice weight in them, so they're a little better than this cheap stuff. And these got the metal wheels. So I can't decide if I'm going to patch these or just leave them and just weather them down heavily. I'll put a weight in and they'll put coal in there. So these are, I'll probably be working on these this week, figuring out what to do with those. Probably a patch, but I'm not exactly sure yet. Maybe just get the big Milwaukee off the side, but I may leave the reporting marks the way they are. So we'll see. I really didn't have, I knew I wasn't going to feel like building anything today. That's why I kind of worked on all of this stuff this past week. So I wouldn't have to be doing it. Are you off the tracks? You don't sound like it. No, you're not. And like I said, getting graffiti done. I have hundreds and hundreds of pictures of graffiti. So that I've taken, that I'll be doing on these. Now, you see, these just don't look right anymore. I've got all the rest of my cars weathered except those two. And it just doesn't fit now. So I'm gonna have to start working on those here pretty quick. So maybe while these things are running, I may wind up working on this. I may just take that off and just go over to the table, let you guys watch the running. I'll just answer questions as they come along. And I may, because I've got all the beams, they're all right here. The problem is I didn't get, well, nobody's fault. It's just we took measurements and we didn't keep them separate as they came off. So I'm not quite sure exactly which are which at this stage. I need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need 8. And I have 2.
Someone asked if you're gonna buy a steam train in the future.
Will I be buying a steam train in the future? More than likely, yes. Yeah. Got a few other things I want to take care of first. And then when we start being able to collect the rolling stock, then we will. I think I've got all these. These, I think I'm missing some, unless these are them here. No, this can't possibly be them. I do believe. Oh, get it off the back, get it off the back. That is that one. These, so those, I don't know. These must be, so I should have identified what went with what. I bet this, no, that doesn't go there. Maybe these do. This guy go here? That guy looks like that guy goes there. So then this guy must go here. Well, that's good. So where's those others? There are the others. I think these are too long.
Tom says, my father used to have a friend that did this in his basement, respects to it, and looks good.
Oh, well, thank you. So he said he had a friend, his father had a friend who had this in his basement, this sort of thing in his basement. And liked how it's looking, so thank you. Should have labeled these. I don't know. Those definitely go there though. Oh, in case you're wondering, that's how they print. Those are the supports that come with them. All I do is I just take, find my little needle nose here. All I gotta do is just get a hold of usually just one end. And they peel right out. Yeah, they pop out just like that. And here's your I-beam. Just like that. So there's your I-beam. This is going to be a leg, isn't it? Yep, sure is. Okay, so those are legs. All right, so I'm going to find. I probably could have prepped myself with this earlier. Yeah, I just have to cut all those out. I'll do that on Sunday. That'll be Sunday's live stream. I'll get everything here, then I can sit and take my time and figure out which beam goes where. Label them underneath, mark where they go, and put them in place. That'll be the way to do that. So, yeah. I think it was, I have them closer, coming in together closer right there. So that would mean this can probably go here like that. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll get it all figured out. We'll have it, so I'll glue all that together and maybe then make the template for the platform, and we'll put the platform on top. That should be pretty good. All right, we'll grab a quick drink while you're watching the trains run. All right. My waters are sitting right over there. I don't know why I walked out to go find my waters. You want to keep a little stash of water around? It just saved me having to duck under that. Like I just did. I think. They probably put. This guy's been running the whole time, so maybe we will stop him and run the other one. So, like I said, if you guys are in the Rockford area, I know there's some of you that are in the general vicinity. We will be at that train show in Rockford at end of March. You'll be able to come down and see some of these, because we're going to take some extras with us. So you actually be able to see these in person. Because it was interesting, somebody at the beginning of this stream said it didn't look that big. You know, once I had my hand up and stuff, it doesn't. Unless you're like right here. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at it and it's way up there. And even if you have a lower layout, it's still going to be big. So it's just better to see them in person than like this. This is, as we move along and we get some taller towers, shorter towers, you'll be able to get a better feel of what we've got going here. We do have a bunch of smaller stuff that we've shown you, like when we've been panning around. So this one's already primered, puttied, everything. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to have room for smaller buildings like this, since most of this is going to be skyscrapers. That's why some of this is probably just going to go. I'm probably just going to take it as it is to the train show and just sell that off there. Probably be the easier thing to do. And then just stick with this. And then if I have room, I can always reprint the smaller stuff. Oh, I forgot to mention, yes, if you haven't been with us, there are no backs on anything right now. And I'm just doing that for ease of build. I have all the backs printed and they're all sitting stored away. But I don't have them so that when I get ready to paint, do everything, I don't have to take anything off. I have it to where it's going to be a wedge fit. The backs are all going to be a nice wedge type fit. So when I get done painting and doing everything, doing all the windows and all that, the painted backs will just pop right into place. And they should stay that way. And if I have one that's loose, I'll figure a way of just tacking it at the top, on the backside. You never see it. Tagging on the backside of the top just so it doesn't fall out and damage anything back behind. So that's why it looks, you can see through, you can see everything really easily. When we get it all done, you won't be able to see through any of the buildings. It'll all, oh, that's what I want to show you guys. I've been talking about this for a long time. Here, dig into the corner for a minute. So some of the buildings, I'm not even gonna mess with lights on. I don't know, like maybe some of the background ones. So I was playing around with this stuff. You can buy, we bought this at Walmart. This is this foil that you use for gift wrapping. It's opaque, but it's really, really shiny and beautiful. And you can get them almost any color you want. So I was thinking about, like, for at least maybe a third of the back buildings, that I would use a variety of colors for the windows. So if you think about that being rolled and then having some lighting either on the ceiling or down below, they'll be lit up for nighttime where the windows will just glow the blue or the yellow or the red or whatever color we put in there. Because, you know, if you notice, a lot of downtown buildings these days have beautiful colored windows. They're very reflective, can't see in or anything. So I think this was, I don't know price tag. It was more than $3 or $4 a roll, and this is 30 by 25. So that would be enough. You see how narrow everything is. That should be enough. One roll should be enough to do a whole building. So there's the gold would be beautiful and the blue would be beautiful. Those are the two I kind of settled on to start off with, but I really like the green they have. They've also got a purple. So just depending on what I want to do, this could be a good option. They also have, well, there's the copper. So the copper might be good as well. They also carry this stuff as a cellophane, kind of a see-through instead of the full foil metallic. So that might be an option. And then put those up, put, you know, the roll of this stuff up where when the lights come on at night, the windows, you can see into the buildings, but it'll be whatever color the film is. So that might be a good option as well. So these are definitely some of the things we're looking at for doing the window glazing, just to make things a little easier, not have to light everything up. I think that would be a good thing. Save me some time, because what I would do on the back is, like on the back of this building right here, for example, we've got a building back behind. I'd probably wire some kind of little spotlights, so the spotlights up on the back of this building that would shine on the background building, so that if it is a foil, it'll still glow and be really beautiful. Because, you know, a lot of buildings downtown are completely lit up. They have all these lights along the bases with the lights shining up that illuminate the entire tower. So that would be, I think, a good option for really making this look like a modern city. So I think that's going to be an option for us. At least to be a time saver. What I'll probably do is I'll probably experiment with like one of my small buildings like this. I may even do that maybe this weekend. Just see how that would look. Well, this one's painted, so maybe do this one. Maybe I do that copper color that I showed you over there. That might be a really cool looking color for that cream like that. So maybe I'll do, what I would do is I would trim it down to about right here. I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can probably see it. Trim it down to the street level, make that all the copper look, and then put clear glazing down here so I can put an interior in the bottom end for the shops and stuff. So I'm gonna give that a try and see how that looks. If I like, I'll experiment with something like that. If I like that, I may go with that on these big flats that we're gonna have in the background. So just trying to problem solve and make things as easily as I can with it. There's going to be so much more work having to do with everything else that I don't really want to spend a month doing window glazing if I can keep from it on every single building. I mean, like on something like this and this and this, these big show pieces that are gonna be right up here, yes. I will spend that kind of time on those because this is actually gonna be the biggest focal point of the entire layout is gonna be right here. And then the monster building is gonna go right there. I mean, there's gonna be towers everywhere. But over here on this side, it'll be something similar to this kind of a style of a building where it's just tons of windows. But we've got a file that's got one that's got some really great trim details to it. So what I plan on doing is having the one over there is be big enough, even though I'm going to put masonite over the window to block out all the white and put a background up there. I want one that's about as wide as that window to have like one of those monstrous corporate buildings that they have. So that would be essentially, well, I don't think if I have anything that's, so just think of it this way. So think of it being this many windows to about right here. Just a wall of windows like that up to about that height right there over on that wall. I think that would be a really cool looking, just catch your attention piece. These guys are doing really well. The trucks aren't binding up or anything since I use that Fabri-Tac on them. So I think that's gonna be my solution until eventually what I'm doing on all the cars is I'll be using a resin and I'll be filling all the little holes for the pins and I'll be going in and tapping that. Get a tap the right size of the screws and I'll be putting screws into everything so I can, if I have to service or do anything to the wheel sets, I can do that. I was thinking about doing almost all these as coupler mounted or as body mounted couplers, but I don't know if I'll get away with that on the larger cars. So if I'm not going to be able to do that on larger cars with the radiuses that I have, then I probably won't do that on all of them. I am going to change them over to the micro train style, but I'll just get the appropriate ones for the cars with the longer coupler sticking out the back. So that's what we're going to be doing with that, because I just like the look. Right now, this is passable. I have one coupler on a variety of cars that's a micro trains, and the back one is that big knuckle type, so that I can have I can run different types of cars. So I don't have to change everything out right now. I have a couple cars where there's double, to where I can run a couple of the knuckle or a couple of the MTLs all in a row already. I really love how this comes through, especially with the lights right here shining down where you'll see that coming. Over here on the overpass, I'll probably do the same thing. I'll probably put some lights underneath it. So yeah. So again, if you've enjoyed these live streams, now Sunday will be a build day. We're going to tackle this on Sunday. If you like them, please do like and subscribe. We're trying to get to the 5,000 mark for subscribers. We're close. We're only a couple hundred away. So if you've enjoyed these and you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It helps the algorithms out and everything else. Oh, my got to fall off. I didn't have that set right. There we go. So yeah, if you liked it, please do. Like and subscribe. I just wanted to move that back, lost my train of thought because I just noticed the back leg of the tripod was almost off the thing there. Because with the builds that we've got coming on this and all the testing that we're going to be doing, there's going to be a lot. If you liked it, you don't want to miss it. That's the best thing to do. Hit the notifications so you'll know. Live streams are generally Fridays and Sundays, and then one day during the week. We're not sure which day that is. It's going to kind of rotate. So that'd be the one. That's why you know like and subscribe so you don't miss it. I think yeah, we'll be doing some testing again here. Probably on.
I'll be watching Sunday.
Who's this?
Franklin.
Franklin. Oh, I'm glad you joined us. Well, hopefully we'll see you Sunday. I think I'm going to start now that everything is operational. I finally got the stupid inside track done. I'm going to start doing the ballasting up to here. I'm going to go ahead and put the loading platforms in right here. I'll cut those out. When I start working on this area, I'll put those loading platforms in for the people, passenger platforms between the tracks. And then I can finish ballasting all this. And I can connect up over here. So it's time to just get this ballasted and finished. So I won't torture you guys on watching that again. I may have the last little bit, just in case, we get down the ways and people that have joined us haven't seen what it takes to do it. I was gonna do some today, but then I'd have to stop all the running because when I get to doing it and the brushes and everything, stuff flips and goes everywhere and I have derailments. So, you kind of just have to, have it all just really shut off when you're doing that. The other day when I was putting that track in, I was able to keep things running because that's not that big a deal except for that one little time period. Well, it looks like we've got that corner taken care of because here's the container cars are generally the ones that bind up on a tight curve, and that thing is just sailing around those. I don't see any of it swaying or doing any of that funny motion like it was before. It sounded really good going around. This weathering came out fantastic. I wish it showed up better on the camera. All 5 cars are different. I put the weathering all in different places. Made sure the tops are all different. So nothing was alike, even though they're the same car. Basically, the 4 are all BNSFs. Like you can see, this is a darker roof, lighter, darker, medium, and then the light roof on the front. So that's how I usually identify when I start to do my weathering. I'll set up the side pattern of the weathering first to see how dark or light it is, and then I'll make the roof to match. So any that you see that have the darker, like this one and this one and that one, the sides are got a lot more weathering to them. That's just natural. That'd be how it would be out in the real world. So, but yeah, I think I'll show you here. I have.
Oh, Jay says, hi, I'm looking good.
Hi, Jay. I'll show you what I've got image-wise. Or what the last step on these things. This is the top of it. This begins all my photos of the graffiti that I have. That I've gotten over the years. So I have plenty of, whoops, pop right off of it. Yeah. Probably to hit the screen. So that's all, and it just goes. So this is all graffiti, pictures of graffiti, all the way down. So I'll have plenty to choose from when I start to get start working on the graffiti on the cars. I'm going to try to get, I'll show you if you haven't been with us. Where did he go? Oh, there he is. This is HO, but this is, so this car has been weathered just like these down here. Same techniques, everything, same rust, all that. But then that's a hand-painted graffiti I did with just acrylic paint and just a simple paintbrush. So I'll be doing that on all of the cars that are going to get graffiti on them. That way I can just have something very unique and individual to every car. And each one of these has got a nice space. Some of the cars will get 2 graffiti, some will get 3, one on the other side. So just depending on which way it's facing and where we're at when we're running. But I've done a bunch of these. This is a gondola with another hand-painted graffiti on it. So these things will all get a really nice treatment. I mean, it's part of railroad life now, whether you're a fan of it or not. If you're wanting to run, which I do, if you're wanting to run modern prototypical trains, you've got to have the graffiti and the weathering. Very few, like I said, these really bother me now, so those will be getting the weathering techniques here pretty soon. I may actually show a video on those when I do. Boy, that looks really good when the one passes the other. I really like that effect. I just need to get another power pack, and then since we're just DC right now, then I get this other one running. We have all 3 going at the same time.
Tom Jenkins says that is Pamela again, love it.
Oh, well, thanks, Tom. I'm glad you're back. I was just showing today, today's live stream was showing the new weathered cars. We have the 2 back here that got done. We were running those just a little while ago. And the very top of the tower is now finished. So We have Leviathan is done, all except for a little bit of trim. That's gonna take me an hour to put on. Well, the build is done. I mean, I have to paint and do all the interior stuff, but the basic build is done. So we're on to the Alexandria. It's going right here. Gabe's in the other room right now, monitoring the chat, and he's actually working on tearing the building apart, so that we can get these individual panels like we've talked about before, how we have these, so we can fit as much as we can on a plate. And he's working on that right now. That's going to be one really cool building.
Anthony says, nice layout for those buildings yourself.
Anthony asked me if we 3D printed these. Yes, we did 3D print these. Each one takes between 4 and 6 days to print, maybe a little longer. This guy's taking a little longer because obviously the amount of plates there were with it and how big each one was. This guy was like a 3-4 day print. And this was about a 5-day print. Still a lot of work left to do, so I got a lot of sanding to do and puttying to do, but they're fine just to sit in place for right now. We're doing our quick build, trying to get as much of this printed and built as we can,
Nick says, good evening from Essex, England.
Oh, from England, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, welcome. I'm glad you're here. So let's see. You're probably about 6 o'clock your time, I would think, around there. Maybe 5, 6, something like that. So I'm glad you're here. We're just doing some testing. I worked on these weathered cars, and I mixed all my trucks. I don't know why I put them all in one bag. And obviously, so I've just been checking to make sure I've got the right ones and the right ones. Everything's tracking well, nothing's uncoupling. And everything's been doing good so far. So we're going to probably restart the other one here in a minute. Because I also did these, and we've been testing those as well. Now I've still got a few that I've got to dull coat yet. So I'm trying not to handle those that much. I haven't dull coated him yet. And I haven't dull coated the 2 auto racks since the weathering got done on those. So I'll be dull coating those up here pretty shortly.
Shadows asked, are you going to put anything behind those buildings to resemble glass, or just keep them hollow?
No, we're going to be doing full window treatments. Somebody asked if we're going to be leaving them hollow or if we're putting something in the window areas. Yes, we are definitely putting stuff in the window areas. Everything will have window treatments with shades, well, the glazing, the plastic, the clear plastic, and then window shades depending on whether it's vertical or horizontal. And we'll have some windows blacked out where we have lights on at night and look like empty rooms that don't have anything in it. So there's a lot of work to be done on every single one of these as far as that goes. Background buildings, we're going to be doing a mix. I just showed it a little bit ago. We have some foil, party foil in various colors that I'll be using. I'm going to test it on this building here to start off with. It's really reflective, like a really nice, beautiful reflective foil that will light the buildings up from the outside. That'll reflect. So those buildings I won't have to do as much in, but there will be nothing open when we get done. Everything will be sealed up tight, fully finished buildings.
That was very impressive. Well done.
Well, thank you. Was that the same person?
Uh-huh.
Okay, thank you. So we're slowly but surely getting there. I've been itching to start doing some industry work though. So that's going to be coming pretty soon. I can't decide where to put it. I've almost been thinking about putting some sort of a little clip system right here where I can change an industry out if I want to. If I want to put something right here along this area. And maybe throw a switch right here and bring a track along right here for siding. And then I can just change out whatever industry it is. If I want to run tank cars, I can make a little oil facility. Or if I want to run more hoppers, I can put maybe a flour mill or something right there. So I'm either here or over here on this side of the jump track. On the other side is going to be the ship. We'll have 2 change-out ships for the other side. We're depending on what we're running. It'll either be a container ship or it'll be a bulk goods shipped. We've got the STL files for those as well to print those. So maybe on this side, I've got this whole shelf right here. I might put a switch back over here and run a siding down right here. And maybe a couple double sidings. This might be a good switching in and out area, because I really want to start getting some industry, not just huge skyscrapers. Although this is primarily for, this upper level is the city of the skyscrapers. That's what I always wanted the main focus to be on. It'd be nice to have something until we get the lower area done, where all the industry is going to go, the lower level, to have something to run up here, try to do some switching operations. So that may be coming. I think they'll buy something like the Red Wing Flour Mill. I've always liked that building. Maybe break it in half and do a double long. So that might be a possibility. And then I could have a good terminus point for my hoppers, some of my hoppers. And then just maybe a freight building for the boxcars. That way I can just leave them set. I'll cover everything with paper towels and covers when I'm done. I'm not going to have any dust on anything when I get to that stage.
Anthony asked if you sell any buildings.
Anthony asked if we sell any buildings. We're going to take some buildings to the Rockford Train Show and just kind of get a feel for what people think when they see them. We'll have like 2 or 3 for sale there. We're probably going to take an Artemis. Depending upon how good the Alexandria gets, we'll probably take an Alexandria. And I'm not sure what else. I hadn't really thought when we started this whole thing, I hadn't really thought about the idea of selling them. I would much rather trade. I need more inventory as far as engines and cars go. And I would much rather do that, because that's all I would be doing with the sale of the buildings is buying stuff for the layout. So I would much rather trade, but I'm not opposed to selling them. It's just I've never really thought those details out other than the trade options. I know what I'd have as far as value goes on them that I would want in trade. And the trade, excuse me, the way it would come is everything would become filed and assembled, but in sections. For example, it would be shipped out. This is a separate section, this is a separate section, that's a separate section. So this would be 3 separate pieces that would go in one box. This has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. So it all come in sections, but it would all be sanded, glued together, puttied, smoothed, that resanded, and primered if you want to primer it. I'd even primer it at no cost. So I've been thinking about that because I want to start getting. I need more engines for the layout. I've been running these 4 here quite a bit, and I'd like to start changing them out. And there are certain engines that I'd be looking for that I wouldn't mind trading the buildings for. So if that's something that you think you'd want to do, or if you'd just rather do a cash type thing, we could probably do that. But I prefer the trade part of it, but we could do the cash part of it. Like I said, all of it just goes right back into this. Because when we sell these at the show, not these, the ones you see here stay here. So the copies of these, the second and third ones that we do of these, that go to the show, those are going to buy our second and third printers that we have, that we need to get, because we're just limited in how fast we can do everything by a single printer. And when it takes 6 days to print this, 5 days to print that, and 4 days to print that, that right there chews up a half a month in just 3 buildings. So I'd like to start increasing our printing capabilities.
Anthony said I would buy some of those buildings.
Okay. So Anthony said he would buy some of those buildings. So what I would suggest we do, if you're really interested, is we move the discussion out of the public forum, and you can contact us through our community. We have our email up there.
I'm just going to send a message.
Okay. He's going to send you a message with our contact information, and if we can come up with a deal on stuff, then we can do it. Bear in mind that print times, like I said, take about, that long. So, but yeah, we can just discuss all of it more in detail and what you would get out of it and everything for the money. So, but thank you for the interest. I think they look really great, but that's because I'm biased, because we're building it. My son's taking a lot of time to actually make these things work. These were all single files that we got off the web, and he's modified them heavily. For example, this building right here. I mean, all these are based on real buildings. This building right here, the original file, proportionately, it would have only been this tall. So because we made this modularly, where we can make them any type and height we want, because this is 1, 2, 3 panels right here. We could have gone up another 2 panels if we wanted to go up even higher. So he's taken a lot of time to work on the files to get them to where we can do anything we want to with them. Same goes with all of this. This building originally was only going to be this tall. This building was only going to be that tall. If we just printed them as they were. But he took them, he tore them apart in the software, did whatever he had to do to make it to where it worked, and we just created all these custom things out of them. They're still identifiable as buildings, even though they're a lot bigger than what they were in real life, because like the top of that's very distinct and unique. So if you've never seen the top of that building, you'll know exactly which one it is. The same with that one, the same with that one up there. So all of them come from real buildings in real life. We've just modified them to make them skyscrapers. So really they can be any height. That's why I'm saying maybe we'll do a twin tower of this one. If we do a twin, I'd probably go ahead and make it the same exact height. I was thinking maybe a little shorter to give some variances, but then it's not really truly a twin. So this may be our twin, because if we have that right here, the second tower right here, I'll move the Alexandria down a little bit.
We've got a couple things to that.
Okay. Yeah, speak louder because I got 2 trains coming around me.
Yeah. Skippy says, love the train set layout.
Oh, thank you, Skippy.
Very funny bolt-on says SD40-2s would look great on the layout.
SD40-2s would go great? Oh, I agree. That's probably, other than the SD70 ACE, probably the SD40-2 is my favorite engine of the GM ones. ES44s are my favorite on the GE side. I love SD40-2s. I'm an artist. I did railroad drawings for about 30 years before my eyes went. I drew an SD40 probably at least a half a dozen times for varying roads. So just have always loved those big porches on the front and rear. I thought it was a very well balanced looking engine with that, the way it was on either end. Just a really good looking. So I do plan on getting SD40-2s.
Okay.
That was who, Oscar?
Uh-huh.
Glad you enjoyed it. Yep, we love trains too.
Great Northern says, I've been in and out of this cat. I'm getting ready to go train shopping, moving from Atro to Evansville.
Oh, Great Northern Cities. Going to be moving from HO to N scale. Well, it's a good scale. And now that there's so many, you can almost find every engine that you can get an HO and N scale these days. So it's all there. And with 3D printing now, you can make anything that isn't available from HO down to N. The files are up there. I've seen almost every file for every building ever produced through Walters, through any of the big builders, Bachman, any of those like the Spectrum series buildings. I've seen all of those in files up on the web that you can print down to N scale size. So it's becoming a much more flexible scale to work with, especially if you have size limitations, which I do. I'm working in a 7-foot by 9-foot rectangle. So I've got 9 foot and 7 foot over there. So 63 square feet is what I have for the layout. That in HO would not give me much, even with 2 layout levels, because I don't even know if I could fit a helix I don't think an HO helix would actually fit in that corner. An N-scale helix will, but no problems with that. But I don't think I could even do two levels with HO going between the two. So for me, this was just, it made more sense. Plus, I can build these. I couldn't do this, even the printer, this would take forever for me to print these in HO scale. I mean, this right here is about a 9x9 plate, and that's as big as our most plates are. Is about 10.5 or 11 inches by 11. We could go just a little bit bigger than that, but it would take a lot to print. I mean, it'd take double the printing time. So this would be a 12-day print right here. And I don't even know how much filament we burn through. So just for me, it was a good choice to go in scale.
Anthony says I'm on an HO scale.
Anthony? Well, my dad did too. And I've worked in a lot of, is that the one that was asking about the buildings?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so these are in scale. HO, I don't think we would do the buildings in HO, just because well, the print time. I mean, 12 days, 10 days, 8 days. And we wouldn't have any use for our printer after that. And we've got so much that we've got that orders for people and things that, so I don't think, until we get a second or a third printer, maybe after March, and I could dedicate one to doing larger pieces. So if you don't mind waiting a little bit until after we get another, because we have all the files, everything's made. I mean, all I've got to change it to HO is not that big a deal. It's just the printer time. So if you're not in a big hurry and you can wait until after we get our second or third printer in and I can dedicate one to largers, then we can probably do something with you.
Oh, Anthony says I use them for force perspective.
Oh, for force perspective, so you put them in the background. Okay. Well, that would work. And actually, in all honesty, even though this is in scale, let me see where I've got my guy. Where's my guy? Okay. Here's an HO figure, okay? So, I'm not gonna be able to hold that in here with my hands, but let me go to the trainers get past. There he is right there. I think you can probably see that. In the openings, this is supposed to be a big opening, but I mean, there is a difference in the floors, obviously, but you know, it's not that much. We kind of went a little bit large on the in-scale size, but not a whole lot. But I put HO up against it and it'd be fine. I don't think you'd have any issues, especially if you're putting it in the back. Like if you've got smaller buildings up front, you're wanting these for background buildings, they'd work really well for that. Because we were even thinking about ourselves having a whole bunch of Z-scale buildings in the background. But if we'd had a little more distance, a little more depth to it, we definitely would have done that. We would have made a bunch of Z-scale to give that forced perspective in the background. But this is only 2 foot deep. So it'd almost be a pointless thing with only having that much space for me to do that. But we still might, just to give, like maybe up a hill or something in a corner, we might put a large building, we might print it in Z, and just have it in the back like that, and maybe over here, especially on that wall. So I even got Z track over here. We were going to actually do a high line with the Z in the background with Z buildings. So it was something we were definitely, but I'm just kind of limited right here with only having 63 square feet to what I can do. So, but if you're wanting for background, we could definitely do that. We could even probably enlarge them a little bit if you want them slightly larger, not quite down to in scale to where not quite as small, but that's all stuff that we could do easily because we have the files made now. Everything's set, and because of all the work my son put in on them, we can do just about anything we want to with them as far as size goes. All it is a matter of changing the millimeters on the lengths. I do love when this one comes up and he catches them. That's totally cool. So we'll be doing a lot of, when we start doing a lot of our runs, our live streams where it's just running, I'm definitely gonna set that up. Where we're gonna have cranes passing and not just going each direction, but because we have the three main lines, it may not be three passing this way all the time, or two passing this way, it may have it going the other way. With the camera set up over there with all the big buildings that we'll have over there. So we'll have a lot of really good options for the videoing. And then of course, this big bridge we were talking about that's gonna go across right here with the two tracks. We'll definitely get it to where when we're doing those live streams where we've got multiple trains going across those things at the same time. So there'll be some really good stuff coming. So then, my son will get in touch with you. It's Anthony?
Yeah.
He'll get in touch with you.
He'll have to touch the car.
Oh, okay. So if you'll contact us through the email, then we'll be able to talk to you more about sizes and things like that we can do. Oh, I hear the squirrels outside. We're on a second floor right here. This is a second floor upstairs bedroom. And we've got a deck out the side here and big tree. And I hear the squirrels playing all the time. We have some, they play across the top of the deck. And it gets pretty noisy after a while. Spring we'll hear woodpeckers. They like to get right up over here and try to get into the house, but there's no way they can get in. They try, but they can't get in. But you'll hear that jackhammering. So when we're doing some live streams this spring, you'll probably hear that coming up too. We got wildlife all around us, even though we're just right in the city. I'll get another little drink of water there. All right, I think I'm gonna switch out. The middle has been going the whole time. The hard part about that one is how I have to switch it out. Need a splitter right there. Well, let's see what we can do here. I think I may just go ahead and stop both Montana rail links for a bit. And I'll just get the spirit going again for a while. Yeah. Well, you can hear all the water going down the drain right now, right outside my window here. Where temperatures are finally climbing again and all the snow on the roof is melting big time. So with the temperatures we've got coming next week, I doubt we'll have any snow left anywhere. We've got some mid 40s coming, which for us will be a heat wave with what we've had this winter so far. Okay.
Anthony asks, what region do you model?
Somebody asked what region we model. It's kind of just an all over thing. This could be, when we get done, I mean, this could be a big city anywhere that has a big city center. So I'm from Albuquerque originally. So a lot of the roads I like are Western roads, but since I've been living in the upper Midwest now for about, going on 30 years, there's a lot of roads that I like now from this area. I like a lot of the Wisconsin Southern, Norfolk Southern, which I never saw down that way except very rarely through Albuquerque back. We're talking back, 60s, 70s, 80s. Never saw any Norfolk Southern. Love Norfolk Southern's heritage units, all the special units they painted. So we'll definitely be getting some engines from them. So mostly BNSF, a little bit of UP. I'm going to be getting some of the older units. I'm going to be doing some custom painting. There's some engines I want to do that they're just fantasy paint schemes. Here, I'll show you I'll show you an HO fantasy paint scheme. I'm going to do something like this in scale. This is something I've done a number of these. I've done probably about 20 of these total for people over the years. This is a -9 that I put a GP60B nose on that's been modified. And this is a black undecorated engine to start off with. Fully painted it, fully decaled it out. Both sides. I don't know if I've even got all the data decals on there. All I have left to do is put a number on it and the handrails on and slap it on a power chassis and it's done. So I'm going to be doing some custom builds like this and all my own custom painting. So I've got a few things I want to do. There's some Denver and Rio Grande equipment that I want to do that they never had that I think would be really great. So I'll be doing some of that. But mostly the big city can be just about anywhere because, I mean, between Norfolk Southern, BNSF, UP, we're pretty much covering most of the big lines that there are that stretch across. I am going to be getting some, since we see a lot of it down here now anyway, especially around us here, I'll be getting some Canadian lines. We'll be getting some probably, well, I know for sure Canadian National and a few of the Canadian Pacific Special units. So, I mean, really, we could be any city, and this could be any city, any place because of what we're going to be running. And some of the buildings we have coming, some of the skyscrapers we have coming are from overseas. So, technically, I mean, we could be a pretty good international city as well. Because we are going to be getting some of the high-speed trains, some of the high-speed passenger trains. We're definitely going to be getting those, both from Europe and Asia. So that you'll be seeing those running along here.
What does I met a guy years ago that had a train collection so big, he bought the house next door and built a huge train set so big it was in every room of the house and basement.
So they had a neighbor that had a train set that was in every room of the house and basement. My dad's his best friend when he was growing up. He lived in Denver. He's passed on. Great guy. He had their house. They lived in the basement, fully finished basement. Beautiful. Had a living room down there, bedroom, everything else. It was really cool. His layout went through the entire basement. So in their bedroom, they have the yards behind the headboard to the layout, and tunnels that went through the walls. And he had these really cool bookcases that would line the walls. They were only maybe a foot deep. The train ran across and go through the tunnels and back through and everything. Really a neat thing. My dad did the same thing when he had a basement in Albuquerque. He went through the various rooms with the tunnels too. They didn't live down in that basement. It was just a basement for a family room and stuff like that. So I've seen big layouts like that. When we get done with this layout, within about a year's time or so, 2 levels, the whole thing, we'll be going upstairs and starting a layout up there. We'll have 2 layouts. Up there, I'm hoping to have a double layout, but because I have a lot more room up there, I don't have to have a 2-level in scale. So I'm hoping to have an HO lower and an in scale above. Or maybe the in scale below, and if I want to do HO in the big city above, I can do that. I'm just not sure yet. But it will, it's about triple the space I have here. So I could feasibly do a decent HO and then a monster in scale upstairs. So we'll be building that, probably starting that in about a year's time, 8 to 12 months after I've pretty well got this in hand up here, where I've got all the buildings made, all the tracks done, got the lower level starting to get it pretty well wrapped up, and then we'll go upstairs and start working on that. And that's where the monster industries will be. I have printed that's up for sale right now. If it doesn't sell, I'll keep it and I'll put it there. I have an enormous steel mill that has 3 blast furnaces, huge rolling mill. It's all 3D printed. Things you would fill this entire area right here in scale. We've got all the cars for it that we've printed off, so I can have a huge steel mill up there, along with an enormous grain elevator. and probably a huge container. Up here, I'm gonna have just a small container dock area where, I can stack up a fair amount, but up there I'll make a full-blown container yard with probably 3 container ships all lined up with the cranes. So that's all coming in the next year or two. So if you like what you've seen, I do recommend liking and subscribing and hitting the notifications. So worst case scenario is it pops up and it says what we're doing. You don't have any interest in it. You just don't come around and look. But if something sounds really good, at least you'll get the notification for it. You'll know what we're working on. Because there's just gonna be so much stuff. So, like I said, I haven't spent much here so far. Total, not counting the rolling stock, everything, upper level, lower level, all track, all scenery, wood, hardware, the whole works. We're about $475 right now. So I'm estimating that by the time we're done, depending upon how much the lighting costs me in the buildings, we should come in under $1,500 for this whole thing. Both levels, completely done.
Anthony said on CSS, Norfolk Studies, Conrail, Unified for Norfolk and Democrat.
Oh, okay. The guy said that he's interested in like the NS, the CSX, Conrail. We're definitely going to be getting that Conrail Heritage Unit. I really like that thing. I also found a really cool, decently priced, I guess Kato is the one that makes them, the SD80. I always liked the look of that engine. It was a predecessor, the look of it for these SD70 ACEs. So I'm going to get that hopefully both in Norfolk Southern and Conrail. I think those would be good looking units. And Amtrak, definitely. We're getting a lot of Amtrak. You just don't see it out here right now. But these are the Surfliners. I've got this one, the track safety one, and then I also have the 10th anniversary. So we're going to be putting a Surfliner together with I'll have these engines back to back, and we'll have about probably maybe about 10, 12 cars for it. And then I'll be just doing a standard Amtrak as well with the Superliners, and then there's a bunch I want to get built up as well. 59s like the Sounder, Go Transit, love the Go Transit. So that would look cool here with some Canadian. So one day we just be doing Canada stuff. I could have some Canadian Pacific running and have the Go Transit going, and I think that was pretty good.
Hornby asked, what lights did I use in my layout?
What light? We use LED lighting in our layout. It's such a pure white light. I really like how it makes the paints that I use, how they look. You could use a more of a softer white or a natural light, which has a little more yellow to it. But I just like the pure white. All these up here are pure white. When we replace all these can lights up here, we're going to get the strip lights that have the angled reflectors on them, the long ones, and they'll all be LED as well. I didn't think I'd like them in here. I thought it'd be too harsh, but it really makes the colors of all the scenery stuff stand out. It makes the colors on the train stand out. Nothing's muted. Everything is just bright and sharp. So I recommend LEDs, the pure white LEDs. We are eventually going to have it with a whole set of dimmer stuff over here where we can transition from day to night to where there'll be a timer and the whites will start to dim, and we'll have a red, orange set of lighting on the inside that will start to come up. That'll be the evening light. And then at the same time those come up, the lights will start to come on in the buildings. I don't know what that's going to entail. I know there's going to be a lot of electronics involved. I'll have to watch a lot of videos online and see how people have tackled that problem and how they've done it. And we'll just see a way that seems simple enough and cheap enough to do. So that's what we'll do. So when we're doing our live stream, I just do everything off of a laptop. We'll have the entire, I know there's programs out there you can actually have your computer run your entire train, run stop engines, do everything. You have stuff moving out of switches. So we'll automate everything eventually. And when we do that, we'll start live streams
And we'll just start stuff up and we'll have a program set for everybody to come in and out. Daylight starting and stopping, with the lights and everything going. So we'll just be able to throw the camera on. We're gonna have a multi-camera, probably feed. We'll get 2 or 3 cameras and we'll do both a horizontal and a vertical at the same time, so you guys won't miss anything anywhere around the layout, both lower and upper. So to be able to watch it all transition from day to night and just all the running that we'll do. That's a little ways off. Hang on a second. Why do DCC chips get hot? And it, like with anything electronics, everything that has power running through it's going to get hot. I've never heard of any real issues of overheating and damaging the engines. I mean, probably initially when it was first coming out, there was probably a lot of problems as they were working out the bugs. But I don't think it gets any worse than just like regular running DC at this stage. Because with all the light boards that are inside for the DC, just even running the standard DC, everything gets a little hot. So I haven't heard any problems though, or any issues. And we're running DC right now, but we'll be shifting to, obviously, to DCC when we get the rest of the track all in and everything is operating properly the way it's supposed to, and I don't have to worry about anything. And then we'll start wiring it all up for DCC. I'm thinking about getting another one of those Spirit engines. I just love that paint job so much, the one that's running around right now. And running a pair back to back, and I'll get a little, I'll get some transfer lettering, small enough that I can get a little B, letter B, and I'll put it behind the number on the cab. So I'll have the regular number, then I'll have that number B. So I'm thinking about doing that because I think that would make a great looking set. A lot of the single engine one-offs that the companies have painted, that's what I plan on doing with them. Like that Union Pacific one, I love that paint job. So I'll probably have 2 of those, and one will have a B behind the number. Any of the heritage units that we're going to get, I'm probably going to get at least 2, and the second will always sport a B. So you'll see it and you go, oh, they have one of those. Well, in my world, I've got 2, and the second one is the B trailing unit. So not a cabless, but it'll be a B unit.
What will happen if I don't turn off my lights on my layout?
Somebody asked what will happen if he doesn't turn off the lights on his layout at night. Well, I've gone off and left these lights on. LEDs don't produce a lot of heat. They're very. I would recommend if you're going to do that, wire them into a light system that has a circuit breaker so that you don't have to worry about it. Up here, I've got everything that goes into a circuit breaker. These are all just can lights. And I used to use these lights as grow lights for the plants we had for our garden. And in the wintertime, I would have these operating sometimes 24 hours a day, getting the seeds going and getting things going pretty good. Now, I did see just recently somebody's it's been in the news everywhere. Somebody's house burned down and the fire was started because of electrical issues in the layout. So I'm not really going to give any advice whether you should or shouldn't leave them on. I've just not found an issue with it. So, like I said, LEDs don't burn that hot. They take very little electricity. So, if you have any concerns, shut them off. I mean, if you're worried about it, that's just, you just have to do that. I mean, I went off and I left my power packs on for 2 days or 3 days straight. I forgot to shut them all off. And they were never hot or anything. They just sat there. So, but I'm not sure what the situation was with that guy, what part of the layout caused the fire. So it's always best to make sure you just shut everything off. But for something like that, if you've forgotten it for some reason, you probably shouldn't have a problem, but I'm not going to say for sure. I don't recommend it. Definitely don't recommend it. But if it's LEDs, there shouldn't be an issue.
but I shut everything off except, I've just started to get into doing a lot of running now because things are actually operational. So I haven't had to be back in the mode of making sure everything's off because I've got a big, I'll point down where it is. I have a big splitter right down here that has all of my cords that go into it. It's got plugins for I think like 20 or 25 plugs. And it's got the circuit breaker on it and everything else. But at night I just come in and I flick that off. And it takes care of everything, shuts it all off. I just have to be careful when I go out because I have no lights in here. Of not banging my back on this duck under right here. So I make sure I do that every night. There's never been a night I haven't done that. The power packs, I probably should just plug those in there too. I don't know why I don't have those plugged in there because then I would have had those on. They're just into a power system that goes into the outlet over here, not through that. So I'm gonna probably just go ahead and run those over and into that thing. So when I shut off at night, I'll make sure I have those off too. I don't have to worry about it.
Someone asked, what's your opinion of the value of vintage Hornby sets?
Vintage what?
Hornby sets.
Oh, vintage Hornby set. Somebody asked about what the value of those, what my opinion is on that. I don't know a lot about Hornby. I've had a few pieces in my lifetime. So as far as valuing them goes, if you're trying to find out what your set is worth, what I would do is best bet is to go to do some research online. If you want to see what the stuff is selling for currently, go to eBay. Don't go by what stuff is listed. Go select the option that says sold listings and see what stuff is sold for. That's going to be your best barometer for what the values of any kind of railroad equipment is. Because I could go on there, I could go on to eBay and take a box around. I want $1,000 for it, put $1,000 on it. And you may see that listing and go, oh, that's worth $1,000. No. You need to go in and see what stuff is sold for. So go to the sold listings and see what it's for. Because sometimes people just way overprice stuff. So always check the sold listings, and that'll give you a good idea of what your stuff is worth.
Hornby asked if you have any UK locomotives.
Somebody asked if we have any UK locomotives. We do not at this point, but we do plan on getting a variety of steam engines. We're going to be getting some of the Mallards and the Coronation engines. It's going to take a while for me to find what I want because they're hard to find, but when we get to that stage, those are definitely in the works as far as ones I want to have.
Faith says hi.
Who does?
Please?
Oh, hi. Those back two cars on this train that I'm running around right now, I just finished yesterday, so this is a test for them to make sure. I for some reason I was really stupid about it, and I put all my trucks together for all my different cars in one bag, so I keep them. I thought, oh, I'll just keep them all in a bag. Well, they're all different. So I'm just making sure. A lot of it today has been just testing to make sure the trucks I have are on the right cars and everything's working properly. And again, I just want to thank everybody that comes and watches. And again, if you've liked this, please do like and subscribe because it really helps us with the metrics. And go in and we've got over 1,100 videos for you to look at. We do everything from product reviews to build to runs, everything. We even have some rail fanning stuff on there. So there's plenty for you to look at. Go check out some of the regular videos. We do a lot of live streaming at places. We've done some down at hobby shops. We've done some at train shows. And they're all archived on there. So if you want to go check out some really cool stuff, there's some great things. We've got some live streams coming up. We're going to be live streaming at the Mad City Train Show and at the Rockford Train Show. And we've also got another hobby shop that we're going to be doing a review of it with a live stream as well. So if you liked all this, I seriously recommend just liking, subscribing, and hitting notifications so that you'll know what we're up to. We're gonna do an average of 3 live streams a week, and we try to put up at least 1 to 2 videos a day in addition to that.
Andy, I invite you to my life.
Can you what?
Invite you to my life.
Oh, sure. Somebody asked if, they can invite us to a live stream. We'll go check things out. And you're more than welcome to post, videos of your layout, of things you're building, of whatever in our community. We encourage you guys to talk with each other and share ideas and stuff there. It's just because this is the way I do things like this doesn't mean this is the best fit for everybody. So it's always great when you can share information. So we have the whole community set up where you can go and do that. The Rockford show coming up that we're gonna sell at, we'll be there for 2 days. Last year I got some excellent deals there, so I'm definitely gonna be going and looking for some good stuff at that one. That's where I got those 5 DNSF cars and that one oddball over there. And with a lot of these container cars, and I don't think I spent more than $5 a car. I think it was actually down closer to about 3. And again, like I was talking about with the other guy before, if you like the buildings and you want to do a trade of some sort, we're always open to talking about doing a trade. I'm not really much into selling, but we can do that. But if you want to do a trade, I'm always looking for more inventory for rolling stock and engines. So again, like I said earlier, this whole area is going to be, we're going to get those other 3 main lines in now that are on the pink level, the foam level, and the elevated. That's going to be my focus over the next probably 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to get those loops done so that we can have 6 full trains running at any given time up here. So that by the time I get out of doing the Rockford show, hopefully I'll have enough engines where I'll be able to have one going on every line. That'll be the other thing I have to find is track. I'm not going to have enough track to do 3 more full main lines because these are going to be bigger, wider ovals than what I've got here. So it's going to take more track per line. So we'll see what we can do. And that's again what all those gifts and the super chats go for, is just getting more stuff for here, giving you guys more live feeds to see and more build videos and content. You put every dime back into the layout. All the engines I'm running right now have all been gifts. The Spirit one right here was last year's birthday, and the 2 Montana rail links have been Christmas. As has one of the the Amtrak with the hand, the Surfliner. All of it very complicated. Yeah. Okay. Well, right. Look at that whole separate. So you're not lining up against that. Yeah. I wouldn't worry about it. We're gonna have that. I think we are gonna start putting another ornament. Maybe two more. I think it's Twin Tower, that should be on it. And now that I'm thinking about it, it'll look really good right there. And we want to get that. Sorry, I was in discussing the builds with my son. He's been working on the Alexandria Hotel file, STL file for the big building that we're gonna be building that's gonna go right here up on this side of the Artemis. So we having some issues with getting the windows to all line up right the way it should look. But I think we pretty well got it figured out. Gifts, yes. I'm assuming what you're talking about are the engines. Yes, they surprise me each year with them. I mean, it's only been like one per a holiday or gift or whatever. And I generally point them in the direction of what I like and at the cheapest cost. So they don't spend much. But yes, those Montana rail links, I love the pair. And that Spirit one, that's probably one of my top favorite engines. That was the first one they got me. I can't run the one, I'd like to run the one that we got at the train show, that 10th anniversary Surfliner, but it's got DCC and sound installed. I won't be able to mess around with it until we get shifted over from the DC to the DCC. Somebody says there needs to be a gorilla climb the skyscraper. Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I keep forgetting it. I don't talk about that every time. There are going to be Easter eggs in the city, all over the city. And what we're going to do during our live streams is in the description, we're going to put, can you find this? And we're going to have the whole list of everything that you'll be able to see that are going to be funny things. So, for example, on the side of the skyscraper, we may have a window cleaner that's up there and he's like dangling from the platform because it's like hanging on by one thread. Or we may have base jumpers jumping off the top of one of the skyscrapers, the tallest one. Or Spider-Man on the side. Or down, we may have a bus stop and standing in front of the bus stop will be all the South Park kids. There'll be some stuff going on with cars. There's just be all kinds of things that we're going to have in here. We're probably going to have hundreds and hundreds of Easter eggs in here, things to spot while you're watching the live streams. And we may make a competition out of it. You know, the one that gets the most and stuff. We may have some prize for or something. So we're definitely going to be having some really neat things once we get to that stage. Right now, we're just trying to build the city and making sure everything's looking good and everything's operating well. And then when we get to the fun part, then we'll start doing all that stuff. And seeing those engines over there next to my beautifully weathered cars, I love my cars. I look at those and I think I should probably weather the engines, but that's a hard one for me to justify. Is because you know, if I ever wanted to resell them and change or do something, is somebody going to like the way I weather an engine? Have I killed the value of that engine? Have I added to the value of that engine? The cars, basically, you know, at $3 to $5 a piece, and I weather them out and make them look really good, I've added value. Because then I'll turn around if I ever want to sell them, I'll sell them for $10, $15 a car, and I've made money on them. So engines are kind of a different beast. So what I'm thinking about doing is eventually having like a secondary fleet of them. I'll keep my nice pristine ones, and then I'll buy some if I can find some really cheap, pretty well used that need a lot of work, you know, like really a lot of cleanup, maybe some repair, stuff like that. Then I'll get those engines, and then those will be the ones that I'll rust up, dirty up, all that kind of stuff. So when I really want to go full on prototypical run sessions with engines that look, then I can put that on the front. So, or mix them, you know, like have one clean one, because I do see clean ones mixed in. Norfolk Southern's really good at keeping their really beautiful engines clean. All of their heritage units, I don't know, I guess maybe they clean them regularly. So some of them won't be an issue with because they do stay that way, but some of the stuff is definitely definitely shows its age. So we will, I think I'll have like a second fleet eventually that'll, I'll work, that I just buy used and have to take time working on, that I can just junk up. Even paint like replace doors, and have it where you don't even see the full logo, here, on the side anymore. Where they've replaced the door and you only see like, let's say it says BNSF down the side, they've had to replace 2 doors and they don't have any paint on them and all you have like the B and the S and the F on there. The N is gone. So I'll do things like that. And do the toaster effect on a lot of the GEs where it's all the scorched paint down the side. So we've got things we're going to do. Like I said, again, if you liked it, please like and subscribe because it really does. And then what really helps the metrics for us is if you go into some of our actual videos, not so much even the shorts. Shorts are fun. We got a lot of great shorts on there. But the regular videos, if you go watch those are the ones that really help count towards the viewership and stuff. And most of our long content are no more than about 8 minutes long. So it's not even that much time, and you don't even need to watch the whole thing all the way through. If you just click in and go in about maybe a third of the way, it's good enough. So that would be wonderful if you guys wouldn't mind doing that. There's plenty there to choose from. Like I said, we're moving out on 1,200 videos now. Oh, and we did put our first video up of the members. I think it was actually the weathering of those 5 cars. Our membership does not take anything away from what we do normally here. It's just an addition to what we do normally. So if you don't become a member, you're not going to really miss anything. You're going to see all the standard content that we do, our builds, our runs, everything that's going on here, scenery, all that kind of stuff. This is just added on things that we've done. So, for example, that crane back there that you see, next video that goes into the membership for that was the build of that crane, because that was quite the project having to get that thing built. It was not very clear. The instructions were kind of difficult. It was a keyboard kit, and so it didn't have any written down instructions, orders of things, how to do it, just pictures. And it was really hard finding the parts for it to go with the pictures because a lot of them were not even identified as molded in the right colors. So I showed how to build that. That one's coming up, along with the weathering one that we did on the N-scale, the 5-pack of cars. We'll probably do an occasional short run night, like maybe a Friday night. Even though we do this during the day, we may come back and do a members only run night, like a Friday night from like 9 to 10, something like that. So it's, I think we have it set at $2.99 a month, $2.99, not $299, but $2.99 a month. For all that extra content that we have, we'll probably put about 8 things up a month for it. And all that goes straight into the layout. Everything from the memberships, the gifts, the chats, all that. Like we said, goes straight into this to bring you guys more content. Well, actually, I've actually seen graffitied engines. somebody said that you probably won't see too bad of an engine. Oh, I have seen bad engines. I've actually seen, not many graffiti engines, because a lot of them are moving. But I have seen, engines actually on the line that have been graffiti. And I've seen filthy ones, especially like the toasters and stuff. So they do get dirty. But like I said, it seems like Norfolk Southern has a pretty good, I don't know, I could be completely wrong, maybe but I've seen them recently on like virtual rail, a lot of their engines just in the past week, a lot of their heritage ones, and a lot of them are really super clean still. And they've been around a while. So obviously they take care of them. They keep them, I'm sure they run them through a wash of some sort. So is anybody going to watch the Olympics? The opening ceremony is starting about a half an hour live. And then they have the replay tonight at 7. This is the United States. So if you have Peacock, then it's on that at 12:40 this afternoon. The opening ceremony is live. So some of the events have started, but mostly it's just been all preliminaries and trainings and all that kind of stuff. So I like the biathlon, the skiing, the shooting. Probably going to watch that. That doesn't start until around the 8th. I like the short track speed skating. And that I think doesn't start till around the 10th. Of course, most of the bobsleddings and luges and things like that, again, they're all starting a little later. So, but we will keep track of it and we'll watch some. My son started a super chat. I didn't even see it on here. I'm standing back behind the thing. I'm just watching the train run. He did start a super chat. Oh, I forgot to mention that everybody that does super chats, gifts, and all that will have along the fascia, along right here and on the front fascia here, we're going to have a plaque put up for all the people that have done those gifts, either the super chats, the gifts, members, all that. They're all going to get their name on here as being a sponsor of the layout. So he put one up there. I think it's just for a single super chat to get on the layout. It'll be your username that's on there. So if you're wanting privacy, or you can have your name, regular name put on. So that's he put that up there. I don't know how long he had it running for. He put it up, but we'll have it go till probably we get ready to shut down here. Oh, only 11 minutes left on it. Okay. And again, you'll have your name on it. Then we will have, we're going to do some super chats coming up. Probably in about a month. I already have most of the buildings for the next month named, but then we're going to have naming to where people that do super chats then can actually name the buildings that are on the layouts. Because like I said, we've already got the Leviathan, the Mako, the Artemis, the Alexandria, we've got the Babylon, the Gemini, but after that, I'm not really sure. So you'll have the ability to actually name the building, along with also getting your name on the plaque. So those will all be coming up. So if you're so inclined, we do have that super chat open. And we are keeping track of everybody, and we thank everybody. Because did we have donations last time? Tuesday, no, we did not. We caught up with those bodies. Just for that room number. Did you remember on Tuesday? Yeah. You have it too, right? So we should be getting ready to start printing here fairly soon. He's been working pretty diligently on the base of the Alexandria. What he's been working on is the area like you see right there on the Artemis, this bottom lower section. We have it's its own little area with a top cap piece like that before you get to the rest of the building. So he's been working on that. Hopefully we'll be printing that later today. So like I said, Sunday you'll be able to see what the footprint of that's going to look like sitting over here closer to us. I'm really going to get this corner really done well, and so it's the main focal point. And there's really not going to be much of a focal point because basically we're going to have 25, 30 skyscrapers running down both sides of the layout here and backgrounds. So, but we're going to put probably the big key buildings right here in this corner. Ah, Parahill. Well, hello there. We're just testing some cars out today. I got done weathering the last two cars on this train, and I got all my trucks and couplers mixed. So I'm just making sure I have everything right and making sure everything's tracking well. And I'm getting some break-in time on the engines too. So because this is, I'm trying to get a couple hours of break-in time on each one. And then I'll go in and I'll oil and lube everything inside and get them ready to go for their lifetime here on the layout. Moving freight. And again, the person that gave us the gifts today, thank you. It was the same person, right? Uh-huh. Yeah, thank you for the two gifts. Your name will definitely be added to the gym. Was it gyms that she gave or what?
Yes. Hey! Slim bread, white beef, and the $2 super chat.
Oh, well, thank you for hitting that super chat. Who is this?
Slim bread, white beef.
Okay, Slim Bread. Well, thank you. Well, you're obviously going to go on the plaque now. Like I said, that we've got over there, that's going to be going on the either side of the layout. And you may think, well, who's ever going to see it? Well, we're opening this layout up after we get to the point of everything being really operational good on both levels, probably by the summer. We're going to open up the layout for private tours of it, and you'll be able to actually operate trains. So if you're ever coming through the area, we're in kind of a triangle between Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul. We're kind of right in the middle there. We're on the interstate. Multiple interstates go through here. So if you're ever traveling through this area, you'll be able to call, we'll set up a time and you'll be able to come through and be able to operate, give you one of the cab controls, you'll be able to sit and operate a train. And so names will be seen. We'll point it out, let people know that the people that have donated, this is where they get their name on there. So thank you very, very much. Well, thank you. This is going to be, I can already picture what this is going to look like. I get all that lighting up there figured out, the more recessed lighting. It's going to be get all these shelves out of here. It's going to be really a fun place to be. So that's why I said I'm gonna open it up. I'm not gonna just keep it to myself. So if you're ever here, come talk trains. I don't have a whole lot of room in here, but I can probably accommodate up to 3 or 4 people. We'll get some stools. You can just sit back outside the layout. I'll have plugins along the front side here, and you'll just be able to take a train out and run it all the way down from the top to the bottom, down through the mountains, and just have a good time. Speaking of which, I am going to start working on the mountains here fairly soon on that underside. I want to figure out how I want the trains to pass through that area. I'm going to get and that's all the way over here down to the lower level underneath. I'm going to start working on that area. I'll probably leave the mountain up on top for now as I'm working on it, so I'll see how it'll sit in the corner, and then when I get it done, I'll push it underneath there and get it set into place. So I've just been wanting to get back to carving because I really enjoyed doing all of this rock wall that's over here, and I just want to start getting into doing more of that. So that'll be coming up. I've got tons and tons of scrap foam from everything that I built up here. So I'm just going to start just layering it, gluing it together, layering it for that corner, and then start the carving process. I'm definitely going to have some bridges and canyon with a waterfall, probably, and a river that goes through that comes out the end of the layout there. That's all. I'll bring this back. That's all going in this corner right back here. Get the masonite over the window, block it up so there's no light, and it'll go underneath here. It'll be all lit up from underneath, so it'll look really pretty. Get some great trees. Well, thank you, Slim Bread. We're getting there. I mean, it's hard to believe that we've only been at this for about maybe 5 months now total for the entire build. That's all the bench work, all the printing, everything. So we're moving at a pretty good clip. I'm trying to get this whole area here, this lower level right here, all the way down. I want to get that all weathered and not weathered, but scenic, all that finished. And then really start tying into doing the tracks and everything on the area up there behind the buildings. Okay, Harvey, we'll do that. We should be around for a while. I don't think we're going anywhere tomorrow. It's one of the few weekends we don't really have anything planned. Usually we're gone a lot. We will be doing our live stream on Sunday here, and we're going to be working on this whole big thing here, this big support. We're going to be doing all the beams and everything on that, and that's what I've got planned for it. And then next week I may do a pop-up live sometime during the day, someday next week, and I'll do the first of the graffiti on the cars that's over there. Like I said, I showed you all those pictures of all the graffiti I've got, and I want to start getting those on there. I try to do a little bit each day on something to bring this a little, more forward into having a complete look. So I think that's what I'm going to work on this week, is finish up that platform for the station, start doing some graffiti, and then really start working on this bridge. I've got to get this extra piece of wood. I might actually have a piece of wood. Take a look around here. I might actually have it if I reuse something from before. I might be able to put a piece of wood out here on the edge so I can start working on this bridge.
Elevator asked, are you a railroad enthusiast?
Somebody asked if we're a railroad enthusiast. Yes, we are. I've had railroad around forever with my dad, my grandfather worked for them, worked for the Santa Fe. It's just been a part of my life my whole life. I was a railroad artist for 30 years. Originals, prints and originals are hung up in most of the regional and corporate offices of both the BNSF and the Union Pacific, all along their lines. I've done about 140 pieces, and then so I decided to take all my art experience and background and put it into building a layout. You, a railroad enthusiast. I am no longer enthused. Remember that? Remember that? I am no longer enthused from Randy and his drones. No, I will always be enthused. That was a good episode. We're just talking some South Park. There was an episode when Randy, no, it wasn't Randy.
No, it was,
Yeah, I don't know, one of the dads. The kids were using his drone and they were denying they were using it, so he was taking it back and because he thought something was wrong with it. It was like AI and it was working on its own. He says, I'm no longer enthused. I will always be enthused with trains.
when Brenda asked if you're modeling after a city or your own creation.
Oh, okay. Somebody asked if we're modeling after a city or own creation. It's kind of a hybrid. Most of the buildings that we are building are buildings that are real, that are out there in the real world. We're adapting them, some of their looks to how we want them for in here. But you could probably recognize, you'll probably be able to recognize about half the buildings that we do over time. But the city itself is just completely made up because we're just drawing inspiration from all the stuff that we like that we see from around the world. So you will recognize things because we've got a really great file for the Empire State Building that we'll definitely be doing. We'll modify it a little bit so it's not exactly like it, but it'll come close. There's a tower in Malaysia that I really like. We'll probably put that. It's not so it's not so Pacific looking. It's got some almost some Frank Lloyd Wright type of influences to it. So there'll be some of those coming. There'll be some. There's a building from London we're doing. So we're just going to start adding stuff in. You'll be able to recognize a fair amount of what's going on here, but it is our own city that we've made up. And somebody asked if this was H or N. This is N scale. I only have a very small space. I'll back this up and show you. This is the area that we have. Here's the lower shelf, the upper. This is only 7 foot by 9 foot. So it's only 63 feet per level, 63 square feet per level. Plus I've got all this out of here in the middle because I got my work area in the middle here. And this is where the helix is going to go that'll get us to the 2 levels. So because of the size restraints that we have here, the only thing I could really do was in scale. HO, I mean, I could have done HO, but it would have just been a single loop, a single track probably with some sidings and maybe 3 or 4 industries on each level. So for my situation, this was the best thing to go with. And I was not sure I was going to be able to do all the weathering and things that I like to do because I've done so much in HO. All I really had to do was scale down the tools I use. I'm using a smaller brush, not as wide. And I'm able to use the same techniques I was using in HO, and they're transferring over just fine. So I'm not really seeing much of a drop off as far as the overall finish that I like to achieve. So I'm pretty good with it. Oh, you have in scale as well? Excellent. So what do you model? Do you do what era? Are you steam, transition, modern? You know, I think I'm gonna pull him in and we'll let the Montana Railways finish us up today for a while.
Slim Bread says more older look.
More older look, okay. Let me change out my power feeds. And we'll start the Montana Rail links up again. These are the cars right here I was talking about that I'm gonna start doing the graffiti on, but I just finished the weathering on.
Slim Bread says I send you pictures, but I don't know how. Perfect. You thanks to the community.
Yeah, if you go to our community section, there's a way there you can share pictures, videos, all kinds of stuff.
And that's on our main YouTube page.
But that's on our main YouTube page, yeah. So when you're done here, if you go to our community section on the main page, you'll be able to share anything you'd like to share. I'd love to take a look at it. Like I need to put a little more weight that guy right there. He's wiggling too much. Or maybe put a couple of washers underneath. Stabilize things a little more. Okay, so go to our channel, our main channel, and then go to the community section.
It should be up.
But you don't have to subscribe.
No, it's just up with that button.
Okay.
It's up near the.
Okay. Yeah, it's up near where the subscribe is. You'll find the community section. Go into there and you can share all that. Oh, well, thank you. Who is this? Mr. I don't have my glasses on. Mr. Toyu? Something like that. Well, thank you. Yes, you have to have a passion for it. Or an obsession, whichever you want to say, because it takes a lot. A lot of hours. But it's fun. And the end result's really great. Well, I thought they'd come around and pass each other. I guess they got them kind of pacing each other pretty good. So I'm going to speed one up or slow one down. Let's see here. We'll go. We'll do this one. There we go. I wish you had a little more passing going on now. Maybe. Oh no, he's catching him now. Maybe not on this lap, but he will by the next. Yeah, so again, if you've liked our videos, we've got 1,100 videos you can watch on our main channel. 1,100 plus. So it's all kinds of things, run videos, every gauge. It's build videos, product review videos, everything. So if you like this, you might want to check those out. You might want to like and subscribe. We do 3 live streams a week. So that we've got always something good going on. Sunday's live stream will be building the rest of the platform for the station, along with doing some running. And next week, I'm probably going to do a video when I do some of the graffiti work on some of the box cars and probably some of the ballasting. And so we're going to be every live session is a little different. So if you want it, like and subscribe and hit the notifications, and you'll know when we're up and doing something. Like I said, we'll be doing membership videos. Well, we already got our first membership video up. We got our second one coming up pretty soon, and we'll probably do a membership. Now, we're not taking away anything from our normal routine that we do with our main channel. Our main channel, which is 100% free, still gets its 1 to 2 videos a day, plus it's 3 live streams a week. And all we're doing is adding on to that by adding a couple extra videos each week and maybe a short live stream. So that's what the membership takes care of.
Joey says this looks fantastic. Well done.
Oh, well, thank you. Who's that?
Joey.
Joey? Thank you, Joey. And if you're not sure, this is all id scale. Well, he's passing as he's coming up. There he goes. And I'll be adding more cars as I get them weathered. I was digging through a box the other day. I found a bunch more cars. I found a 5-pack of articulated stack cars. I need to look at them. I bought them busted, broken, but I only got the set for like $10. I just need to, only one thing is broken on it. It's one end of one of them. So I can get that fixed fairly easily. I just need to take a look at the truck and coupler situation on them. They all have their own containers. It's those really cool ones, those big Husky stacks that have those big tall ends on the end. So I'm going to dig through those. I'm going to work on those this week and start doing that while we're working on doing the Alexandria Hotel that's going to go right here, the huge one. That's going to be our next tall tower. It's going to be the tallest one of the bunch. It'll be about 3-4 inches taller than the Leviathan sitting over there on the right-hand side. Again, thank you to everybody that donated today, either through gifts or the memberships. Every dime that comes in goes right back into the layout, so we just keep bringing you more content, either through the builds or the runs or whatever. Well, this will be good. They're coming together right there. That was nice. I kind of timed out. I'm not even touching the throttle. They just kind of timed out nicely coming together right then.
Oh,
I'm reading it.
yeah.
I'll answer here in just a second. Okay, so somebody asked how long this has taken us. Actually, we've only been at this layout between 4 and 5 months. And a lot of it, first month or two, was essentially just trying to figure out what we were going to do. So really, most of the build has come within the past 2 to 3 months. That's all the bench work, all of the printing of all the big structures, all the scenery stuff so far, everything, all the weathering. That's all been just within the past 2 to 3 months. Total work time, like I said, about 4 to 5. I estimate another probably about another 8 months, 8 to 10 months. But that will also include doing this lower section right here that the helix will get down to. That's where the mountain and most of the industry will go, along with a change out, an area that we'll have where we can change out some really beautiful stations. So I would say total time then, once we're done with the bulk of the build, will probably be between 12 and 14 months. And of course, we're going to have a lot left to do, but that will be basically all the buildings in place, all of the track down done, everything tested, switched over to DCC, most of the main scenery done, So about, 4/5 finished at that point. What'll be left will just be doing all the window glazing and the lighting in the big towers. That's going to take me probably the better part of a year to do all that. So I'm not really counting that in the build time, because I'll just take one building and do it each month and do a building or two. But when we get to the basics all finished on this, in a little about another 8, 9 months from now, we'll be starting the layout upstairs where I'll be able to do huge industries. Some great running. It'll be about 3 times the size. Right now I'm working in a 7 foot by 9 foot section area for the 2 levels, so 63 square feet. Upstairs I've got about triple that. So what's up? Okay. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much. Bless you too for loving this hobby and enjoying and being, a good part of a great community. So it is a fun community to be a part of. I've been into trains, either model trains or with my railroad artwork for the better part of my life, probably 45 years. And it's just a great group of people to be a part of, both the rail fans, the engineers, the people that work from the railroads, and the hobbyists. It's a great group of people. And it's a fun hobby. And the advancements they've made every year just keep getting better and better. Hello? I was then doing a time check, see how we're doing. So we've been at this almost 3 hours, this live stream. So I think we'll probably wrap this up at the 3 hour mark, because we're going to be doing another live stream in 2 days. That'll be doing the build on all of this platform area for the station, along with I may be starting to work the details out and starting to do some work on the big bridge build we're going to do, the huge bridge that's going to span this area over here. So we'll be doing some good stuff on Sunday and running trains as per usual. So because I'll probably have a few more cars weathered by then that I'm going to be testing out. So we'll have to put those on and get them running. So again, if you haven't liked and subscribed yet, please do so, and hit that membership thing so that you'll get the notice when we're going live. We generally give a notice about usually at least 1 to 2 hours before we go live. Sometimes we try to do it the day before, but these days we're not sure exactly. Sundays, usually we're here about 11 o'clock in the morning. That's Central Standard Time. So you can pretty much guarantee that for that block of time. And Fridays here, about the same, about 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. And then we'll do a pop-up during the week that we don't really know whenever we're going to do that one. So that would be the one that you probably want to subscribe and get the notifications for. Because those generally are an interesting one during the week. That's usually some sort of a build or weathering or scenery or something. That's what we usually do during the week like that. So those are always a pretty fun one to do. And like we said, the ones that did the gifts today and donations, the super chats, we will be adding your username to the plaque that's going to go on the wrapped around on all the fascia boards here, so that when we start having people come for run sessions this summer, starting this summer when everything's good, people will be able to see who helped get this moving along and help with the build on it. So that we will. It'll be opened up to anybody that's going to be coming through the area. It's not going to be an invite thing or anything. If you're coming through here and you want to come by and run some trains, we'll have it set up hopefully by then with all the DCC so that just plug in a cab control for you and you'll be able to run some trains with us. So that's what we're doing. And then that way, with all the names up, people will be able to see everybody that participated in this. Just our way of saying thank you. I'm sure happy with this inside loop now. After getting all that fixed last weekend, I guess I don't remember, maybe that was Tuesday. I don't remember, whatever day we did that, where I took that track out and replaced that one area that's been giving me fits. Now it's all fixed, all three main lines. This is the first time, really, this is about the first full week that we've had all three of the main lines here running. The far one and the inside one have always been good. This little inside one here with these box cars that's coming by right now, this has been the pain. I don't know why. I matched the curves perfectly. It just was having issues. So we got it all taken care of, and I'm happy. I was almost to the point of just making sidings out of that and putting businesses in. But now we've got our three mainline staging tracks. That's what this whole level is going to be. This is where we'll stage our trains that will then drift off into the layout, either going up into the elevated track and onto the street level, or going down to the lower level. So this is the working part of the layout right here. This is where everything's going to happen and then moves on. So I'm just really glad I got that third main line figured out. Now we just got to work on the switches.
Here's Slimberg just uploaded this in the community. He says here's a picture of a waterfall I just finished up.
Oh, that waterfall's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Very nice. So people, if you're watching, go to our community section when we sign off from this and go check out some pictures that got uploaded by one of the watchers today. Beautiful waterfall. So go take a look at those because some good inspiration there. Let me encourage you. If you guys see something you like in the community by one of the other people that follow our channel, be sure to give them a shout out. And if you've got a question about something they did or how they did it, I'm sure they'd be happy to talk with you about it. So we're trying to build a community here for people to be able to just talk everything trains. And I'll show you as best I can the things I know how to do, and the stuff I fall short on, I'm sure somebody's going to be around that'll be able to help you out. So it's a good thing to get involved with the community part.
Oh, Josh says hi. How are you doing?
Hi, Josh. Doing good. Hope you're doing well, too. It's finally warming up here. We're actually going to be back into the 40s this week. We've been sitting at sub-zero temperatures for about a month. So it's going to feel like summer out there. I think probably our thaw is on because I hear everything coming down our drains. We're on the second floor here in a bedroom. There's a drain outside that comes from the roof. And when the trains aren't running, you can really hear it. So we're definitely getting melts off today. Good day to just be in working on trains. It's going to be a mucky mess. We have a really mucky yard when we get the thaw. We've got quite a hill, and it just runs down it and runs down the driveway, and it's just a mess. I'm doing good. I love the Skyscraper. Oh, well, thank you, Josh. Yeah, we just finished the one on the right. That's the newest one. That's the Leviathan. We just got that very top part just finished. I just have a little bit of trim work that has to go on it, and it's done. We've already got all the trim printed. I just have to apply it. Right now, we're working on the fourth skyscraper that's going to go right here where this is sitting. It's the Alexandria. It's going to be taller than that one on the right even. we're actually gonna be starting to print on that today. So on Sunday, we should be able to show you the ground level floors, the first 4 floors that are basically the business end of the building before you start getting into the upper floors where it's either apartments or hotels or offices or whatever, but we'll have at least the foundation part done.
That's so cool, I like seeing the ends flowing.
Yeah, it's fun. This is, so you like seeing the N-scale running. It's been a long time getting to this point, getting these tracks done the way I needed to get them done, to where everything is operating. But I mean, I guess really overall, it hasn't been that long. I mean, I've only been at this whole project for about 5 months now. So to be where we're at right now. So I guess it's really not too bad. So it's doing all right. So we're gonna wind this down. We got about 5 minutes left. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna pull all these guys into the back area here. Again, we're gonna be here Sunday. All right. So. Yeah, I'm just gonna power those into the big switch down here, so when I turn everything off at night, I know it's off. So I'll just run those cords down to that. So anyway, we got everything stacked up here. I'll get it all covered here. I'm gonna keep everything covered at all times with the paper towels, so that keeps the dust off of it. I'll figure a way once we get all this done of probably a roll up type of a thing with plastic drop cloths, so that I can just roll it up and then drop it down and keep all the dust off of everything as much as possible. I mean, we're upstairs. There's only one vent in the room that brings anything in. It's a sealed room. I got plastic over all the windows, so I don't get a whole lot of dust in here to begin with, but I definitely want to try to keep it off as much as possible. So again, like I said, starting next week, we will be doing the Alexandria build, and we'll be starting this double level bridge that goes all the way across here that will allow us to get the elevated level and our street level coming across so we can complete the loop. So I want to get all 6 tracks going here, and that will allow us to ready to build the helix to get down below. I want everything here operational and doing really well. No hiccups, no problems. It looks like everything's really smooth now. I'm going to do a track cleaning here probably. We've been doing a lot of testing lately, so I'm going to do a track cleaning here fairly soon, and then that way just keep everything clean and running smooth and operational. So Sunday, yes, Sunday. Gonna do this Sunday. Here's all these little beams and everything. I gotta strip all the supports out of that are gonna go here all through this area. There's some that come this way, some that go this way, beams that drop down. I want to get that done so I can get the piece of styrene cut that goes on top so I can really place this where it needs to go. This is the station. There's going to be a big park right here and probably a large Ferris wheel that will have, like a lot of big cities have downtown. So this is the goal, and if I have any time left over on Sunday, I may start to do some of the work on doing some of the graffiti on these cars, these new cars. Like I showed earlier, I've got a lot of great photos, and it won't take me long. Maybe tomorrow, maybe I'll sketch one out so I've got one ready, just in case this doesn't take much time to do all this. So we can do a little bit of graffitiing. And
Josh says I'm going to a train show next Saturday.
Who said that?
Josh.
Oh, Josh. Oh, good. Yeah, we've got a train show coming up as well. So we've got Mad City coming up in 2 weeks. It's the second largest in the area. It's right behind Train Fest in size. So we're looking forward to that in 2 weeks. We'll get a lot more content for the channel. So have fun at it this week coming up. Train shows are great to go to. I just love going to them. Great deals usually on equipment and fantastic stuff to see running. Usually a lot of the guys like to bring out all the new stuff they just got and run them. So it's a fantastic thing to do.
So if you ever have a chance to get to a train show, I highly recommend doing it.
Slim Bread says that's a good idea. I like it. Can't wait to see the Ferris wheel.
Yeah, the Ferris wheel. Somebody said he likes the idea of this and can't wait to see the Ferris wheel. I'm hoping I can find an operational file, an operational Ferris wheel file. If not, I'll see what I can do with it. My issue with it is going to be the electronics as far as the lighting goes for something that's actually rotating. I know I could do like a pickup, a disc where it'd like be a brush system to where it could rotate and pass power into the wheel itself. I could do something like that, and then maybe do a pulley system, like, bring the pulley, but mount a motor under right here with like a thread system to make it rotate with a gear. If I could probably hide all of that. It's just a lot of engineering, and do I actually have the time to do it? So that may be something that I may just put off for a while until I get the rest of the big build stuff done, and then I can devote some time to that. Because it really would be cool. Because it's going to be those, those enclosed gondolas that you see like in the big Ferris wheels, because this will be a big Ferris wheel. They're like climate controlled, air conditioning them and everything. That's so I can have them all lit up. I'd love to have that. If anything, if it's just stationary, it'll be lit up like that anyway, no matter whether it's movable or whether it's stationary. So that'll be something really cool right here with the park. I think that'll be a really neat addition right here. So that's coming. Yep.
Josh says thanks, and track is exhausting to work on, I think.
Yes, Josh. Track is exhausting to work on. Like I said, these three main lines right here, these staging main lines have driven me crazy. I want to get as much roadbed down as possible because wintertime track's moving. Once the roadbed is down, it doesn't move again. So I'm going to try to get as much finished up here as possible. So yeah, in addition to, I like to hand paint all my own ties and everything. So that's what all this is all hand painted. So it can be exhausting. And like I said, that corner was just giving me so many problems. I was just ready to make a siding out of the thing and just forget the operational aspect of it. So.
Access to Rome says very nice looking setup.
Oh, thank you, Access. It's all in scale. It's all 3D printed. We just wrapped up doing a lot of running. We've been running for about 3 hours and talking about what's coming. This weekend on Sunday during the live stream, we're going to be working on this whole area. I'll actually be doing some building and also running. We'll also have the first part of the next skyscraper right here. We're going to be going up with that. So we'll show the beginning processes of that. So if you want to come back and see it, we'll be doing that Sunday about 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. So if you want a notice, we always put notices up at least an hour or two ahead of time. So if you want to like and subscribe and hit the notices, you'll know when we are, but that's about the time we'll be doing it. So.
Crochet Lady says, I really enjoyed the live today. Reading the many chats from your watchers. Model railroaders are really cool.
Oh, they are. So we just had a good compliment from Crochet Lady. So, and she enjoys all the chats that go on, and I do too. It's what makes the time go by. So, especially when I've been working, you guys have really helped out on some of the previous live streams when I've been working on stuff, and I've just been like, I'm tired of this. You guys, the chatting that you guys have been doing has been fantastic. So it's kept me motivated and kept me working on it. So I thank you guys for that. So yeah, just keep that up. Keep me motivated. So we'll be good.
Thomas says hi.
Hi, Thomas.
Josh says cool layout. Can't see your uprise train running sometimes.
You can't see it?
Oh, can't wait to see it.
Oh, can't wait to see it. Yes. We'll be running almost every session that we do now at this point, now that I've got the track, because probably almost every time I'll have some of my cars weathered, done, whatever. I've got 3 coal cars right now that I'm having issues with. They're just too light. I didn't have the weights when I worked on them, and I put coal inside. So I'm going to have to go and dig the coal out, get all that out of there, put the weights in, and then refill them with coal. So I'll do that, and then I'll have those on. So I'll be adding stuff on. I've got a little, I've been wanting to do a train of these for a while, these little ore hoppers, these taconite ore hoppers. I generally can find them fairly cheap at the shows, but when I've seen them running on other people's layouts, they have a lot of issues. So I want to see if I can resolve that with the weight, adding the weight to them, and and things. So I'm gonna play around with that one a little bit. So, I love smaller cars because for having a very limited size that I'm dealing with here, smaller cars make the trains look bigger because you just have a ton of cars. I'm now looking for those 40-foot high cubes that I could have bought a whole bunch at a show, and I just didn't think about it back about a year ago. He only had them at $3 a piece, and he had an entire flat full of them. There was like 40 cars. I should have bought those because I would have weathered them all and patched them, made great patched police cars out of them, graffitied them, and I could have had a beautiful 40. So when I see stuff like that, I'm just going to start getting it because that would have been cheap to have done and would have been a beautiful train. So we'll be having new stuff adding all the time, whether it's structures, builds, cars, whatever. But we will be running each time we come. Once I start doing this next batch of ballasting here, we'll be doing a lot of testing to make sure I got everything cleaned off. Because even though it's only this one I'm working on, stuff will go flying as I'm working. So I'll have to vacuum everything. So I'll have to test everything. So we'll be starting that because I've got to do this entire stretch over here. All 3 tracks over here have to be completely done. I've just got the inside here and the inside here on this, but this is going to take a while. So we may do a day where it seemed like people enjoyed the last time I did ballasting. So we might do a ballasting day. Try to get like maybe this done and maybe some over there. So we'll do that coming up. So anyway.
Josh says my phone doesn't add the words I put every once in a while.
Oh, yeah. The phone editor, can be a problem when typing. So.
Slim Bread asks, are you going to do any lights in the buildings or any offices you can see through the windows?
Okay, somebody asked about details on the interiors of the buildings. Yes, there will be lights and everything, and there will be window treatments for every building. Some buildings may just get, I showed earlier today, I have reflective foil that's a real metallic-y color that's beautiful. I've got varying colors of it. Some of the background buildings are probably just going to get those and look like the buildings downtown that have the colored windows. Those you won't be able to see in, but I'm going to have them lit from the outside, so they'll always, even when we're doing night running, will have that reflective look of the color. We are going to be doing a variety of interiors on the buildings. Almost all of them will have the bottom levels will be done completely, whether it's a store at the bottom or a hotel entrance or whatever. We'll have the entire bottoms will be all done with interiors. And then scattered throughout the sides of the buildings, we were going to create little boxes on the inside that'll be, if it's a hotel, it'll be a hotel room. If it's an office, it'll be an office. So depending on what the building is, so it'll be like maybe 6, 7 along this front, maybe 2 or 3 on the sides. And those will be lit separately to where when we do our nighttime stuff, you'll actually be able to see into those. That'll be I think, be a neat effect. So we are going to be having some interiors on every building, but every building will be lit.
Josh says, I think the skyscraper needs an elevator. Oh, well.
Yep. We're definitely, I've actually got a way where we're going to show like an elevator shaft in the construction process. For example, when we were working on this guy right here, I had this for the longest time without anything. And then the longest time that one went on, and that was for the longest time without anything. We have STL files for printing that will give us, that we can make the long boom arm cranes, where, the ones that sit on top of the buildings, usually like a yellow or red, and they move themselves up the building as they go. So I'm thinking about making a universal size that can be at either this level or this level, depending on the size, a flat platform that has like girders sticking up like in an elevator shaft. So, see, I got around elevator. You're probably thinking, what are you talking about? You're not talking about elevators. So here's where the elevator part comes in. So you'll actually be able to see, like right here, there'll be like a flat platform, and have the big boom arm on there with I-beams coming up, and you'll see the elevator shaft. And we'll just leave that on there. It won't be glued on. We'll just leave it on there until I get the next part done. And then when the next part gets done, I'll have like a piece that's the same size width of that. So we'll kind of have a universal size for different types of it. And then the boom thing will be attached to the back. We'll just keep moving it up with the thing as it goes. Because sometimes this will sit like this for about 4 or 5 days before I have the next set. And in that amount of time, we'll have had run sessions, we'll have had whatever. So it'll be kind of cool having buildings looking like they're in construction. So I plan on building us like two full boom arms like that with toppers, fake toppers that have the elevator shaft and the beams that show the next level coming up.
Bio Bob says, I just retired and you're inspiring me greatly.
Oh, well, thank you, Bob. Good thing for retirement. It really is. So I'm not quite retired yet because I'm selling and building and selling and my artwork and everything, but I hope maybe about 10 years from now that'll wind down. I can just run trains and just have videos. We'll just do videos, run trains. But it's fun. It's an absolutely fun hobby to have. Great time to get into it right now. There's so many things you can do. The technology is incredible. Steep learning curve if you haven't done like DCC and stuff, but there's tons of people out there and sources to help you with that. Or you can just go with the standard DC. We're just doing DC right now for testing. We'll go to DCC later. So my dad was DC the entire time. He never went DCC on any of it, and he was perfectly happy with block systems and stuff. So good time to be at it. So I'm glad you joined us. We're going to be doing a lot of videos. We've got, like I've said today a couple times, we've got 1,100 videos on the main channel, our big channel. Tons of runs, builds, reviews, product reviews, all kinds of things. It's where all of our live streams are archived, so you can go watch any of our previous live streams. Because we got live streams where I showed how I actually carved and painted this whole rock wall that goes all the way around. So showing how to do that weathering, live stream showing how to do the scenery. So there's plenty of stuff there to go check out, good resources. So I'm glad you're here, and if you liked it, like and subscribe because you'll be able to keep up with all the stuff we do, and it's a lot. So, all right. So is that about it? Okay. So I think we're gonna go catch a little bit of the opening ceremonies for the Olympics for a little bit while we've got the print going. While we get started with that print, there's not a whole lot we can do till we get that printed. And then we'll be back on Sunday with the next live. So I hope you guys will be here and join us. And have a good weekend up until then. And take care.